Chapter 2903. Plus, Mommy's a doctor. A doctor's mission is to save lives. But Mommy's also pregnant. I don't know if it's a brother or sister in her belly. Pudding interrupted. Sis, you're finally willing to help me. Seeing her sister speak up for her, Pudding immediately became smug. Don't be like this. You have to understand Mommy's job, okay? Huamin tried to negotiate with the twins. But Daddy said that when Mommy is on vacation, she must either stay close to Daddy or stay at home with us. Pudding lectured her Mommy. I know. Huamin was helpless. So, Mommy, are you going to take Daddy to the hospital, or are you going to take us and the bodyguards? I'll take the bodyguards. Don't worry. You guys can wait at home. It seems like it's raining outside. It's pretty cold. How long will it take? Pudding pouted, reluctant to leave. It won't take long. Huamin comforted them. Liar. Heart surgery takes at least 3 hours. Pudding exposed her Mommy's white lie. It wasn't a good thing to have smart babies at home. They weren't easy to fool. Mommy, why don't you go? There's so many doctors in the hospital. Maybe they're not good enough. It's not your fault. But lately, it's been so quiet outside. That bitch Zhang Manlin hasn't done anything. I don't know what she's thinking. And that crazy woman Huiyin, after she framed Uncle Gao Ran, I don't know if she'll target us. So, I think it's better for you to stay out of trouble. Pudding said word by word. Her logic was clear, and her words were precise. Pudding, Mommy understands what you're saying, but Mommy doesn't want to miss any chance to save someone. Mommy isn't a saint or God, but Mommy is a doctor. It's a doctor's duty to save people. If I save them and they die, it's still acceptable. But if I don't save them and they die because of me, I'll be very sad. The family members of the deceased will also be very sad. The cruelest thing in this world is the separation of life and death. The saddest thing is the living and the abandoned. So, I hope that as long as there's a glimmer of hope, I'll do my best to help the patients I treat. This was the first monologue in my heart when I first stepped into medical school. When Huamin said these words, her eyes were bright. It was as if she had returned to her teenage years, with a heart surging with passion and a dream that seemed silly to others. Everyone thought that doctors were supposed to save people's lives. It was their job, and they were paid to do it. Now, the media was constantly trying to sow discord between patients. It made doctors seem like they had lost a lot of their former glory. However, this didn't affect the young people with medical dreams. They continued to work hard for their careers. Even as the vice director of the hospital, Huamian still felt that she had the responsibility to save every life that was of value. Mommy, okay, you win. You have such a high EQ and eloquence. We can only surrender. Huamian's most honest words convinced her daughters. In the end, Pudding also surrendered. Watching Huamin leave with the bodyguards, Pudding was still a little uneasy. Sis, what's wrong? You look like you have something on your mind. Little Bean asked. I feel like Mommy shouldn't have gone out tonight, Little Bean said with lingering fear. Yes, she didn't ask Daddy for permission to go out. I also think it's very serious, Little Bean added. Chapter 2904. Huamin, who was pregnant, rarely left the house. This time, she brought along 2 bodyguards personally selected by Qin Shu, just in case. The driver drove the RV while Huamin and the bodyguards sat in the back. Along the way, she was thinking about a problem. Pudding was right. It was really risky for him to come out. Pudding was right. Not only was Zhang Manlin coming up with all sorts of evil ideas, but Huiyin had also been crazy recently. She was always doing crazy things. Plus, Huasiqian's wedding was over, but there was still no news. All signs pointed to the fact that she was in danger. Coming out after dark wasn't a wise choice. But she was a doctor. If she hid at home like a coward for the rest of her life because of fear, would she still be the same Huamin? Would she still be the girl who was called arrogant by all her classmates when she was in high school? People didn't live for others. They lived for themselves. She knew that if this was exposed by the media, there would be a lot of self-proclaimed righteous people who would call her a saint and a white lotus. But it didn't matter. After all, not everyone was like her and had her own way of thinking. There was a saying that was very true. If you could be understood and supported by everyone, then you would be an ordinary person. After all, in this world, geniuses were few and far between. Most people were just ordinary people. The fact that you wanted ordinary people to understand geniuses was a joke in itself. Thinking of this, Huamin smiled. Then, she picked up a bottle of mineral water and took a sip. In fact, Huamin's existence itself was the biggest controversy. But after all these years, she had always held on to him. Whether you like me or not, it doesn't change anything. I'm a doctor, not an entertainment star. I don't need millions of fans. I don't need people to praise me. I don't need people to praise me all the time. My lifelong wish is to be a qualified doctor and then live a safe and happy life with my husband and daughter. However, she was worried that Qin Chu would miss her when he came back and found out that she had gone out. At that thought, Huamin took out his phone and called Mr. Qin. "Hubby, honey, what's wrong? There's a patient in the hospital who needs heart surgery. The difficulty of the surgery is a little complicated. I have to go there." "Where are you now?" Qin Chu asked in a low voice. "He's on his way." Qin Chu didn't say anything. "Hubby, don't be angry. I brought bodyguards out, and I didn't drive my own car. The driver drove. Wait for me at the entrance of the viaduct. I'll drive over to find you." Qin Chu said. "Honey, I won't stop you from performing the surgery. I just want to be with you." Qin Chu knew Huamin's temper very well. If he took Huamin home because he was worried and the patient died, Huamin would be sad for a long time. People who studied medicine understood that feeling very well. Qin Chu studied medicine at Harvard for many years. Although he wasn't a doctor, he understood Huamin's heart better than anyone else. Upon hearing Qin Chu's words, Huamin was very happy. "Thank you, hubby. I love you." With her husband's support, Huamin felt much better. She didn't feel any pressure at all. "Stop at the entrance of the viaduct and wait for my husband," Huamin ordered the driver. "Yes, madam." The driver obediently parked the car on the side of the road and waited for Qin Chu to meet up with him. However, 10 minutes passed, and Qin Chu's car was still nowhere to be seen. Huamin called again. "Hubby, how long until you get here?" "The situation at the hospital is a little urgent," Huamin asked. "There's a situation here," Qin Chu answered with mixed feelings. Chapter 2905. What's going on? "Honey, are you okay?" Huamin was scared to death, thinking that something had happened to Qin Chu. "No. Honey, listen to me carefully." Qin Chu's tone suddenly became very heavy. "Go on, I'm listening. I'm stuck in traffic really bad. I don't know if it's a coincidence or if someone did it on purpose. You haven't been out for so long, and you suddenly received a call from the hospital today. Could it be a trap?" Huamin was silent after hearing this. "Honey, did you hear that?" Qin Chu repeated. "I heard it. Actually, I've thought about it. Could it be someone's trick? Whether it's Hua Xiqian, Hua Yinyin, or Zhang Manlin. But if I don't come because I'm afraid it's a trap, and the patient dies because of it, I'll feel bad." Qin Chu was silent. "Hubby, do you also think that I'm a saint?" "No, I've never thought of you that way." "That's good. As long as you don't think I'm pretending to be a good guy, I don't care what other people think of me. I might not be able to go over for now, and you're in a hurry. How about this, Mian? Promise me that you'll be careful. Take care of yourself and the baby in your belly." "Okay, I'll be very, very careful." Huamin nodded, feeling a surge of warmth in his heart. Mr. Qin didn't argue with her at a time like this and asked her to go home. It was obvious that he knew her very well. After hanging up, Qin Chu looked at the traffic jam in front of him. He immediately opened the car door and got out. Just then, he saw a traffic policeman on a motorcycle pass by. He reached out his hand and stopped him. "Can I borrow your motorcycle? I'm Qin Chu." Then, without waiting for the traffic policeman to respond, Qin Chu got on the motorcycle and sped away, weaving through the traffic. The traffic policeman looked at the black Bentley that Qin Chu left behind, dumbfounded, speechless for a long time. Southside Recuperation Center. When Huamin walked in, he didn't go straight to his office. He was in a hurry to read the documents and change his clothes. Instead, he went straight to the reception desk and asked about the condition of the heart patient. After confirming that it was true, she was slightly relieved. "Where's the patient now?" "In the operating theater on the 5th floor. Everyone is waiting for you, Deputy Director." "Who called me just now?" Huamin asked the nurses on duty. "It's me, Deputy Director." A young nurse raised her hand. That's normal. You shouldn't be the one to call me. Who told you to call me? Huo Mian asked her warily. Assistant Shinjie usually calls you, but she's off today and didn't come. This is an emergency, and no one can make a decision, so I was wondering if I should ask for your opinion. Huo Mian carefully analyzed the nurse's words to see if there were any loopholes. Do you still have the information? In your office, the nurse replied. Do you have a backup? Huo Mian asked. Yes, there are more in the operating theater, the nurse replied. Good, then I'll go straight to the operating theater. Then, Huo Mian put on his white coat and walked upstairs. The nurse's eyes dimmed slightly. She muttered, she's so smart and so defensive. Yes, the perfect plan was just short of asking Huo Mian to go back to his office, but she didn't. Instead, she changed her clothes and went straight to the operating theater where there were many people. Therefore, the nurse panicked and sent a WeChat message to Hui Yanyan. Sis, there's a change of plans. She's so smart. She didn't go back to the office to get the information and went straight to the operating theater. What should we do? Chapter 2906. That's normal. How could she not be wary of someone like her? It's okay, Hui Yanyan replied. Should we do it in the or? There are a lot of people there. It's not convenient. You know there's only one of those things. If we don't succeed the first time, all our efforts will be in vain, the young nurse said. Of course not. Can't you grow a brain? Think about what she does after she leaves the or. Hui Yanyan was a little annoyed. After she leaves the or, she usually changes clothes, rests, and drinks water. The young nurse tried hard to remember. That's easy. We'll put the thing in her clothes before she changes clothes. The young nurse hesitated. What are you waiting for? Go and do it. Okay, sis. Is it really okay? Vice director's husband is very powerful. I'm afraid. The young nurse stuttered. You're just a temporary worker. What are you afraid of? Once you're done, you'll leave. Anyway, your ID is fake. Who can find you? Hui Yanyan retorted. Hui Yanyan had spent a lot of money on this revenge operation. First, she spent a lot of money on that thing. Then, she hired people in the hospital to bribe them. Most importantly, in order to lure Huo Mian into the trap, she really found a heart patient who needed surgery. Otherwise, if the information was fake, she would be exposed easily. As soon as Huo Mian entered the hospital, she went around to check if there was really such a patient. It was obvious that she was very vigilant. Okay, sis. I know what to do. Inside the or on the 5th floor, once Huo Mian entered, everyone let out a sigh of relief. Vice Director, Mr. Director, you're finally here. What's the situation now? Huo Mian asked. The patient's heartbeat is very fast, and he's having difficulty breathing. I don't think he can hold on much longer. Where's the information? Let me see. Huo Mian reached out his hand. An assistant immediately handed over the information and showed Huo Mian the patient's medical record. She was very serious and finished reading very quickly. How is it, Deputy Director? Are you confident? The chief surgeon asked. There's indeed a risk. This patient has undergone heart surgery before, so this is considered a second surgery. It is indeed very difficult. Then what should we do? Do we do it or not? Of course we'll do it. Tell the family that we'll do our best. Tell them not to worry, Huo Mian said. All right. Huo Mian was a doctor who paid close attention to the feelings of the family members of seriously ill patients. When Ji Xin was in a car accident, she stood outside the door as if she had lost her soul. She couldn't wait to see the doctor and asked him if he was alive or dead. Therefore, after becoming a doctor, no matter how bad the situation was, she would always consider the emotions of the family members and comfort them. I'll change now. Let's get started. All right. After that, Huo Mian changed into a disinfectant suit and entered the operating theater. A few assistants followed him in. Hui Yanyan's nurse took advantage of the fact that no one was paying attention to her. She avoided the surveillance cameras and stole the small black jar from Huo Mian's office. Then, she carried it all the way to the changing room next to the operating theater. There was only one nurse guarding the changing room. That nurse was playing with her phone and texting her boyfriend on WeChat. I'm here to see the deputy director, Huo Yanyan's subordinate said. The deputy director is already in the operating theater. You can wait for her to finish, the nurse said perfunctorily. Then I'll wait for her here. All right, if you want to drink water or go to the bathroom, you can go. I'll watch over you for a while. Okay, I was just about to go to the bathroom. You can keep an eye on me. If there's anything I need, let me know. With that, the nurse got up and left. Hui Yin's subordinate quietly opened the black jar. Then, wearing a pair of rubber gloves, she put something into Hua Min's jacket pocket. I'm sorry, Deputy Director. Someone wants you dead. I can't do anything about it, the nurse muttered in a low voice. Chapter 29:07. Perhaps the nurse was scared, so she left without waiting for the other nurse to come back. She left in a hurry. Hua Min was wearing a black cashmere coat. It was windy at night, and she was pregnant, so she often felt cold. That was why she wore this coat. There were 2 deep pockets on both sides of the coat. Hua Min would put small items like keys in the pockets when she forgot to take her bag. She just didn't expect that it could be used by others after the nurse was done. She sent Hua Yin a WeChat message. Sis, it's done. It's in her pocket. When she comes out of the surgery, she'll change her clothes. When she feels her body temperature, she'll do something. Okay, I got it. Sis, the rest of the money, Hua Yin didn't reply. Instead, she transferred 30,000 yuan to the nurse. Thank you, sis. After the nurse received the money, she immediately changed her clothes and left the hospital. She knew that she would be suspected after news of Hua Min's accident spread. On the other hand, Yin went upstairs to get her luggage after receiving the news. Tiantan, let's go. She grabbed her daughter's hand. Mommy, it's dark. Where are we going? Mommy will take you on a trip. Shouldn't we tell Uncle Shun? He'll be worried about us, right? The little girl asked innocently. Hearing the words, Uncle Shun, Yin paused and said, No need to tell him. He won't worry about us. At the same time, inside the whole mansion, Ah Chung, did you see it clearly? Yes. Do you know what to do? Yes. I'll go and get her. Okay, go. What about the hospital? If Miss Wu comes out and gets bitten by that thing. Ah Chung stuttered. Don't worry. I'll send someone to take care of it. You just do your job. Okay, boss. After Ah Chung received Hua Xiqian's order, he took people to the airport. Because there were people around him, he didn't have time to inform Qin Chu. Ah Chung sent an anonymous message to Qin Chu with an app. Quick, save Hua Min. There's poison in his clothes. When Qin Chu received the news, he happened to be riding a traffic police motorcycle all the way to Southside. After reading the message, his face darkened slightly. Then, he rushed to the operating theater on the 5th floor without hesitation. Just as he passed through the operating theater in the corridor, he was opposite a hospital worker, tall and burly in male. She was wearing the uniform of Southside Recuperation Center and was carrying a bag in her hand. After walking over, Qin Chu didn't forget to look back at that person. Somehow, he felt that something was off. When they arrived at the waiting room outside the operating theater, Qin Chu knocked on the door. The young nurse immediately stood up. I'm looking for Hua Min. I'm her husband. Qin Chu only said one sentence, and the nurse's eyes immediately lit up. President Qin, you're here to welcome our vice president personally. Where is she? In the operating theater. Where's her coat? Coat? Oh, it's hanging here. The young nurse pointed at the closet enthusiastically. Qin Chu walked over, picked up the medical tweezers beside it, and carefully checked it. Only then did he realize that there was nothing inside. Then he put on rubber gloves and picked up the coat. President Qin, what are you? The young nurse didn't seem to understand. My wife's coat is torn. I'm changing it for her. After speaking, Qin Chu used his gloved hands to take Hua Min's designer coat to the washroom. He lit it with a lighter and burned it. No matter what, this coat couldn't be worn anymore. He knew that Ah Ching's information couldn't be wrong. What he didn't understand was why Hua Xiqian suddenly did this to Hua Min. Chapter 29:08. Qin Chu didn't know that this was Hui Yin's doing, because the person he had been guarding against was actually Hua Xiqian. After the clothes were burned, there were some abnormal colors in the ashes. Those were the symptoms of toxins that could be identified with one glance after studying medicine for many years. Qin Chu's face was gloomy as he returned to the changing room. President Qin, please sit down. I'll get you a glass of water and wait for the deputy director to come out. okay? The nurse was very attentive. No, I'll go in and find her. Then, without waiting for the nurse to say anything, Chin Chu took out his disinfected clothes and put them on. Then he walked in. President Chin, you can't go in. You're not a member of the hospital. You can't go in, no matter what the nurse said. Chin Chu wouldn't listen. Instead, he insisted on going in to accompany Huamin. Right now, he didn't want to be out of sight of Huamin for even a second, even if it was an operation. Help me wipe my sweat. Huamin hadn't done such a difficult operation in a long time, so he was a bit nervous. Beads of sweat began to form on his forehead. After she finished speaking, a pair of big hands came over with a disinfectant handkerchief and gently wiped his forehead. He hadn't looked at it carefully, but why did it smell so familiar? Huamin curiously turned his head, and then he was dumbfounded. Honey, why are you here? Huamin almost thought that he was sleepwalking. I'm watching you. I'm afraid you'll be kidnapped. Mr. Chin joked with a serious face. Puffed. Honey, stop joking. Huamin almost burst out laughing, but this wasn't the right place to joke. How is it? How far are you? Chin Chu asked. I just cut open the heart and saw the heart inside. I think we have to remove all the necrotic parts and then use machinery to support it, Huamin said. Go sit over there, Chin Chu said. Huh? Huamin was a bit confused. Let me do it. Before Huamin could react, Chin Chu snatched the scalpel from her hand. Hey, honey, this is a heart surgery, not a brain surgery. Can you do it? Huamin was a little worried. Don't worry, I won't lose to you, Mr. Chin said proudly. Huamin, Chin Chu's intrusion was indeed against the hospital's rules, and he even stole Huamin's surgery. However, Huamin's heart was bursting with happiness. She knew that everything Mr. Chin did was for her. Deputy Director, please have some water. The assistant nurse handed him a glass of water. Well, leave it here first. I'm not very thirsty. Huamin took the water, but did not drink it. It wasn't that she was too paranoid. It was just that she was on high alert during this critical period. She wouldn't casually drink or eat outside food. After all, she really didn't know who had been bribed. The surgery was supposed to take more than 3 hours, but it ended in less than an hour and a half. Chin Chu had to be extremely focused, so he was a bit tired. After getting off the operating table, everyone let out a sigh of relief. Deputy Director, the patient's vitals are normal. The surgery was a success. The assistant nurse's voice was a little excited. Okay, send him to the ICU. Thank you for your hard work. Huamin smiled. Not at all. Deputy Director, thank you for your hard work. Your husband worked even harder. The nurses smiled enviously. Deputy Director, your husband's medical skills are amazing. The chief surgeon praised Chin Chu. It was his first time seeing him perform surgery. My husband, studying medicine is just a hobby. Don't praise him too much, Huamin said modestly. Chin Chu put his arm around Huamin's shoulder and walked out of the operating room to the changing room. Where are my clothes? Huamin opened the wardrobe and was slightly surprised. I burned them, he said. What? Huamin thought she heard wrong and asked Mr. Chin again. Chapter 2909. I burned it. Mr. Chin repeated patiently. Why did you burn it? If you don't like it, just tell me. I'll get another one. I can give this one to my mom. I'll talk to you when we get out. Chin Chu didn't want people to talk, so he didn't say much. He took out his jacket and wrapped it around Huamin. Then, he put his arm around her shoulders and left the hospital. The vice director's husband loves her so much. Yeah, he cares about her so much, but now he even wants to help with the surgery. Oh my God, I'm so jealous. The nurses gossiped after Huamin and Chin Chu left. Honey, where's your car? Huamin looked around, but didn't see Chin Chu's car. I left it downtown. Let's take the family car. Then, Chin Chu held Huamin's hand and got into the RV. Can you tell me what happened now? Why are you burning the clothes all of a sudden? Mian, someone did something to your clothes. By who? Huamin froze. I'm not sure yet. I don't know if it was Hua Xiqian's men. I'm still investigating. What did they do? You finally burned my clothes. Someone must have poisoned it. I was wearing this when I left home. How could someone have poisoned it? Wait, could it be the nurse on duty in the changing room? Huamin realized. I don't think so. If it was her, she wouldn't have waited there to be investigated, Chin Chu recalled. You're right. But where did you get this information? I thought it wasn't safe for you to come to the hospital alone. I was afraid it was a trap, so I came to take a look. When I arrived, I received a message from Aching. He was very concise, so I didn't have time to ask. So that's how it is? Looks like I almost fell for it again. Huamin leaned his head on Chin Chu's shoulder with lingering fear. It's fine. Don't worry. I'm here. Honey, am I a coward? You always have to protect me. Huamin felt a little guilty. No, my wife is very powerful. Didn't she take the blame for murder for me before? Chin Chu laughed. Not again. Huamin rolled his eyes. Don't always think that you're useless and give me trouble. You're a human, not a god. If you're not afraid of anything and can solve any problem by yourself, then what's the use of me as your husband? Am I just for show? Mr. Chin rarely said so many words at once. Huamin was pleasantly surprised. No, you're going to give birth to babies? Huamin teased. Chin Chu was speechless. Don't look at me with such a straight face. It's so awkward. On the way back, the couple flirted with each other. Although it was a close call, the good thing was that Huamin was fine. On the other side of the road to the airport, before Huayan's taxi could get onto the highway, it was forced to stop by a few black commercial cars. Then, a dozen men in black got out of the cars and smashed Huayan's taxi. The taxi driver was so scared that he almost fainted. Huayan and the babies were also scared out of their wits. Tian Tian was so scared that she started crying. Take her away, one of the men roared. The men pulled Huayan's hair and dragged her out. Where are the babies? Take them all away. Who are you? What do you want? Let me go, I'm calling the police. Huayan took out her phone, but before she could dial 110, someone grabbed it and threw it to the ground. Then, he slapped Huayan so hard that she felt dizzy. Tape their mouths. They're so noisy, the man said. Chapter 29:10. Just like that, Huayan and her daughter were kidnapped on their way to the airport. In a small, run-down house in the southern mountains, there was a dim light. After Huayan and her daughter were brought in, they were immediately stuffed into a small, enclosed room. The walls were covered in moss, just like in a horror movie. Because her mouth was taped shut, she couldn't say anything even if she wanted to. Huayan looked at her daughter worriedly. She could only whimper, but couldn't say a single word. Not long after, a man came in and dragged Huayan out by her hair. After he dragged her out, he pushed her onto the cold ground. Huayan lost her balance and fell to the ground. She looked extremely pathetic. What a coincidence, we meet again. Hearing the familiar voice, Huayan raised her head and looked at the demon-like face in horror. With a bloodthirsty smile, who else could it be but Huasiqian? What? You haven't seen your family in a long time. Shouldn't you be surprised to see me? Huasiqian continued to smile. On the other hand, Huayan was so scared that she didn't even dare to breathe. She always knew that Huasiqian was a person who would do anything. He had no bottom line at all. Take away her tape. It's not fun to play with her like this, Huasiqian said. Yes, boss. After that, one of Huasiqian's subordinates came in with a wooden chair behind Huasiqian. He slowly sat down opposite Huayan and slowly lit a cigarette. Huasiqian, what are you trying to do? Huayan questioned Huasiqian with a trembling voice the moment the tape was removed. What am I trying to do? Haha, you're wrong. I should be the one asking you what you've been up to. Huasiqian laughed coldly. Huayan's heart skipped a beat. She could roughly guess the meaning behind Huasiqian's words. You want to run? S City? New Town on Water District? Block 8, Unit 6, 806? Huasiqian repeated the address. Huayan opened her mouth wide in shock, speechless. Are you wondering how I know? It's simple. Your best friend betrayed you easily. Huasiqian said calmly. Huayan felt a chill in her heart. Then, she began to feel scared. She had thought that she would be able to live in peace for a while after leaving this place. But now, it seemed like she was completely wrong. Huasiqian knew her new address in S City. How terrifying was that? I don't understand. What did Mian do to make you hate her so much? How could you do such a thing to her? Haha, so it's all because of Huamin. I knew it. How could a nobody like me attract your attention? Huasiqian, don't you think you're disgusting? Huamin is from the whole family, just like us. Even if you're adopted, you're still his sister in name. Aren't you afraid that people will call you a pervert for liking your sister in name? Hua Yinyan smiled viciously. Pervert? Haha, I've always been a pervert. Hua Xiqin laughed. It seems like you're trying to get justice for Huamin today. You're the best spare tire in China. Even her husband isn't as active as you. Hua Xiqian, don't you think you're cheap? Hua Yinyan's words were filled with sarcasm and insult. As soon as she finished speaking, Ah Cheng slapped Hua Yinyan again. The corner of Hua Yinyan's mouth split open, and blood slowly trickled out. Chapter 29:11. Bitch, watch your mouth, or I'll break it, Ah Cheng said angrily. Huh? Ah Cheng, don't be impulsive. We have to be gentle with women. Hua Xiqian was still very calm. However, the calmer he was, the more unsure Hua Yinyan became. Hua Xiqian, stop pretending. We've been enemies since we were kids, and my mom and brother didn't treat you well either. Now that you've become so powerful, I have nothing to say if you want to take revenge on us. Do whatever you want, and don't waste your time talking nonsense. Wow, a chaste woman. Hua Yinyan, did you watch too many anti-Japanese dramas? Do you think your Mao Zedong or something? Hua Yinyan waited for Hua Xiqian, but didn't say anything. Let's not talk nonsense. Let me show you something fun. Bring her in. Hua Xiqian ordered, and his subordinates immediately brought in a woman with a black cloth over her head. After Hua Xiqian's subordinates removed the black cloth from the woman's head, Hua Yinyan panicked again. Big sister Yinyan, save me. It turned out that this was the little nurse who put something in Hua Min's clothes. She was the little spy that Hua Yinyan planted at Southside. Save you? Ha! She can't even save herself right now. How can she save you? Hua Xiqian stood up and reached out his index finger to gently lift the little nurse's chin. Hua Yinyan didn't say anything. After all, they had a mutually beneficial relationship. TSK, you're such a pretty girl, but you're so evil. For a few thousand yuan, you're so shameless that you want to frame your boss. You're the worst, Hua Xiqian said slowly. It wasn't me. It was Hua Yinyan who asked me to do it. She ordered me to do it. The young nurse acted according to the situation. Seeing that things were not going well, she immediately pointed out that it was Hua Yinyan's fault. If she asks you to do it, you will do it. If she asks you to die, will you go? The nurse was so scared that she didn't dare to say anything. Little girl, do you know what Hua Yinyan asked you to put in Hua Min's clothes? Hua Xiqian asked with a smile. The nurse shook her head in fear. She didn't know what it was exactly, but she knew that it was something that could kill people. Otherwise, Hua Yinyan would not have gone through so much trouble to find a patient with a heart condition to lure Hua Min into the trap, nor would she have bribed so many spies to set up such a big trap. MHM, very good. If you don't know what it is, how dare you put it in my sister Mian's clothes? You're fucking good. Hua Xiqian suddenly tightened his grip on the nurse's chin. He used so much force that he almost broke her bones. Big brother, it's not my fault. It's Hua Yinyan's fault. Go find her. I was used to. The nurse pushed all the blame away. Don't worry. I'll show you the good stuff. You'll like it. After speaking, Hua Xiqian waved his hand. The two men immediately grabbed the nurse's shoulders and stopped her from moving. The other man immediately brought out a small black jar. The moment they saw the black jar, Hua Yinyan's expression changed drastically. The nurse was even more terrified. Why are you guys looking like that? You guys should be happy. After all, you guys chose this and it passed through your hands. Hua Xiqian smiled. No, I beg you, let me go. No. The nurse seemed to know what she was about to face. She was so scared that her face turned pale as she begged for mercy. Hua Yinyan's face was even paler. She didn't know what other crazy things Hua Xiqian would do. Chapter 29:12. Didn't your big sister Yinyan tell you what's inside? Hua Xiqian pointed at the black jar and asked the nurse. No, she didn't say. The nurse stuttered, scared out of her wits. Oh, that's okay. I'll open your eyes. Then, Hua Xiqian carefully opened the black jar and took the tweezers from his subordinate. He reached his hand into the jar and took out a black, furry object. Everyone in the room gasped when they saw what it was. It was a black spider the size of a quail egg. Its entire body was black, and upon closer inspection, there were tiny gray dots all over its body. Just looking at it was enough to make one's hair stand on end. Mutant Black Widow. Not bad. Where did you find this? Huasiqian held the black spider and approached Huiyinyan. Then, when Huasiqian held the spider, its claws were still moving around, making everyone dizzy. Huiyinyan felt all the hair on her body stand on end. You really want to kill my little sister. You're so evil. Compared to your mother, you're even better, Huasiqian exclaimed. Cut the crap. Since you caught me, I didn't think I'd get out of here alive. Huiyinyan knew that Huasiqian wouldn't let her go, especially after he found out about her perverted love for Huamin. Now that her plan was exposed, Huasiqian definitely wouldn't let her go. Don't worry, the night is still young. We have to play slowly. Then Huasiqian turned around and walked up to the nurse. You and this thing are fated. Come, have a taste. Then Huasiqian released the tweezers, and the spider immediately crawled into the nurse's collar. Ah, help, help. The nurse immediately screamed at the top of her lungs. She didn't know if it was because of fear, psychological fear, or because of the pain after being bitten by the spider. That shrill cry shook everyone in the room. Other than Huasiqian, everyone was afraid. 1 minute later, the nurse collapsed to the ground, foaming at the mouth. Her face had turned purple. The Black Widow venomous spider had probably bitten enough. It lazily crawled out of the nurse's clothes. Huasiqian's subordinates were so frightened that they quickly retreated, afraid that they would be bitten. The young nurse convulsed for about 3 minutes. In the end, her legs gave way and she stopped breathing. Huasiqian raised his wrist and looked at his watch. He smiled and said, "Not bad. You hung up in 3 minutes. It seems that your watch is a treasure." At this moment, the black spider crawled towards Huasiqian's feet. "Boss, be careful," Aching reminded. Huasiqian didn't even look. He pulled out a black handgun from behind his waist and shot at the black spider. With a loud bang, everyone was so scared that they couldn't help but tremble. They looked at the black spider and saw that it was already motionless. It was almost shot into pieces. I should let you have a taste of your own medicine, but dying in 3 minutes is so boring, don't you think so? Huasiqian looked at Huiyinyan and asked, word for word, "What do you want?" Huiyinyan had a bad feeling. "You know that I've always loved Mian. What do you think I'll do to you if you treat her like this?" Huasiqian asked with a smile. Huiyinyan looked at Huasiqian's hellish smile and suddenly felt that this might be the most desperate moment of her life. Huasiqian, Huamin, what's so good about her? Why you all love her so much? I don't understand. Huiyinyan felt that she was about to die, so she asked the question that had been in her heart for years, even though it sounded ridiculous at the moment. Chapter 29:13. Before Huasiqian could respond, Huiyinyan yelled again, "Also, don't think that you're so noble. Huasiqian, we're all the same. We're all bad guys, aren't we?" "Yeah, you're right. I'm a bad guy," Huasiqian nodded and admitted. "But so what? Who said that bad guys can't like good girls?" "Huh?" Huasiqian asked back. "Mian, she's not a kind person. She's even a little cold and arrogant, but I like her because she's always been like that since she was a little girl. She won't change because of anyone, anything, or any environment. It's hard to live with a clear understanding of the world. Many people lose themselves in the process, but Mian, she's always known what she wants, what she likes, and what kind of person she is. No matter what other people say, whether they praise her or criticize her, to her, it's all the same. Her indifferent eyes have made me fall in love with her for the rest of my life." Huasiqian rarely opened up to Huiyinyan about these things because in his eyes, Huiyinyan was an idiot who didn't know right from wrong. But today, the atmosphere was different. Huiyinyan asked, and Huasiqian answered, "Huh, is she really as good as you say?" Huiyinyan sneered. "Don't you know? You shouldn't be asking this, right? Don't you know how much Mian has done for you?" Huasiqian asked. Huiyinyan was slightly surprised. Do you think that if Mion hadn't been secretly helping you and protecting you and your mother over the past few years, I would have let you live until now? Are you kidding me? I don't like to cut weeds without removing the roots. You're not so naive as to think that Shun Mingxi was the one who protected you, are you? Hua, Yin. How many times did Mion sneak into the kindergarten to see your daughter? She bought her food, clothes, and even asked the teachers to take good care of her. Seeing how much she liked your daughter, I decided to let you go since you're no longer a threat. It's not worth it to offend Mion because of you, but I didn't think that not only do you not know how to be grateful, you even hate her. Is it because they killed my mom? Hua Yin asked self-righteously. If Hua Min's mother kidnapped your daughter and even tried to kill her, would you still be magnanimous enough to forgive her? Hua Xiqian asked. Hua Yin, don't be so cruel. Don't always think that you're right and the whole world is wrong. Even a stubborn person like me isn't as cruel as you are. Hua Yin is actually very innocent. She even believed that you could change for the better and live a normal life. Unfortunately, you really disappointed her. How could you be so vicious as to buy mutated poisonous spiders to set her up? Hua Yin, have you learned your lesson? They say that dough of rice feeds a debt of gratitude, but it's true that you've become her enemy. Look at yourself now. All you've hurt are the people who helped you. Whether it's Mion or Shun Mingxi, you're not worthy of their kindness, but you're willing to trust people who can easily betray you. It's touching that you're still alive with your IQ. I'm just too lazy. If I had ended you earlier, there wouldn't have been so much trouble. You almost caused Mion to be bitten by poisonous spiders. Cut the crap, just shoot. Hua Yin felt that no matter what she said, there was no hope for her to live. You've got some backbone. What? You don't want to take care of your daughter anymore? Hua Xiqian snorted coldly. Hua Xiqian, don't hurt my daughter. Take it out on me. Hua Xiqian, don't touch my daughter. Hua Yin became agitated, remembering her daughter who was captured with her. Chapter 29:14. So that's why you're so obedient? Hua Xiqian asked. What would he want? To be honest, Hua Yin wasn't sure what Hua Xiqian was going to do. She didn't know what he was going to do. So she was scared. Don't worry, I won't let you die. It's not time for you to die yet. Hua Xiqian chuckled. Hua Yin bit her lips and refused to speak. If you do as I say, maybe I'll find my conscience and let your daughter live. Otherwise, I'll let you watch as she sinks into the ocean with a rock tied to her. Hua Xiqian, you're a fucking animal. Upon hearing Hua Xiqian's words, Hua Yin almost jumped up in anger and cursed at Hua Xiqian. A fucking animal? Haha, I'm one. I've always been one. Hua Xiqian's self-deprecating style was unstoppable. According to seniority, Tian should call you uncle. How could you have the heart to hurt a 5- or 6-year-old child? Are you even human? Hua Yin cried and cursed at Hua Xiqian. However, the more she cursed, the more despair she felt. She knew that Hua Xiqian wasn't Hua Min. He didn't have any morals. Uncle? You sure know how to flatter yourself. Who do you think you are to claim kinship with me? After laughing coldly, Hua Xiqian waved his hand, and his subordinates immediately brought the little girl out. The moment the tape was removed from her mouth, the child was so scared that she started crying. Mommy, I'm scared. It was instinctive for a child to be scared. Upon seeing her daughter's pitiful state, Hua Yin's heart ached even more. Hua Xiqian, if you dare to touch my daughter, I won't let you off even if I become a ghost. Hua Yin screamed. I wasn't even afraid of you when you were alive. Why would I be afraid when you're dead? How about this? If you don't resist and give me a recording, I'll let your daughter go. What do you want to do to me? Hua Yin felt that Hua Xiqian was on the verge of breaking down because he refused to say anything. You guys take the things out. After Hua Xiqian finished speaking, the men behind him turned around and returned to the black car parked outside Hua Xiqian. Hua Xiqian took out a long brocade box and slowly opened it. Inside was a thin syringe. It was like a child getting vaccinated. Inside was a white, transparent liquid. Hua Yin seemed to know what would happen to her. She was so scared that she couldn't speak. Don't worry, I won't let you die. This is good stuff. One syringe costs more than 100,000 yuan. It would be a waste to give it to you. After speaking, Huasiqian slowly walked towards Hu Yinyan with the syringe in his hand. No, don't come over. Hu Yinyan struggled with all her might. She was very resistant to this unknown substance. Based on her understanding of Huasiqian, this was definitely a perverted thing. It couldn't be a simple drug. Don't come over. Don't touch me. After I'm done with the syringe, I'll start recording. Say to me, Qin Shu, please let me go. I won't dare to do it again. Qin Shu. Hu Yinyan's eyes widened. She finally understood Huasiqian's little trick. What he wanted to do was to set her up and then frame Qin Shu. Don't worry, you won't die. In fact, you'll be very happy. Trust me. After speaking, Huasiqian suddenly injected the syringe into Hu Yinyan's shoulder. The unknown liquid slowly flowed into her body. Hu Yinyan felt her mind go blank. I'll start recording in 5 seconds. If you don't do as I say, then your daughter will feed the baby to the fish, Huasiqian said slowly. Chapter 29:15. Hu Yinyan's face was filled with pain, and she struggled for a while. With a beep, the recording started. She opened her eyes and looked at Huasiqian. She said with determination, Qin Shu, you did this to me. I won't forgive you even if I become a ghost. Huasiqian took out his phone and recorded the scene with a sinister smile on his face. Then, Yin felt dizzy and fell to the ground. Mommy, what's wrong? Mommy, wake up. Little Tian rushed over, but was stopped by a man. Boss, I think the drug is taking effect. Ching said. Yeah, take her to the busiest street and leave her there. What about the kid? Ching asked. Tie her to a rock and throw her into the sea. Huasiqian said. After Huasiqian said this, the men fell silent. What's with that expression? Are you crying at a funeral? Huasiqian stared at Ching. Boss, Yin deserved it, but the kid is innocent. Ever since Ching adopted the kid, he cared about kids like her, especially those who didn't come from a good family and didn't have parents by their side. Ching, we're not philanthropists, we're bad guys. We were bad guys in the past, in the present, and in the future. This is the path we have to take. Huasiqian said. Ching didn't say anything after hearing this, but he didn't dare to refute his boss. He knew Huasiqian's temper. Sit down and make sure everything is clean. I hope this is the end of Hu Yinyan's matter. The relationship between Qin Shu and I has officially begun. After saying this, Huasiqian threw the cigarette but on the ground, stepped on it, and turned to leave. Big brother Ching, if you can't do it, we'll do it for you. Seeing Ching's conflicted expression, the men tried to persuade him. It's okay. You guys take Hu Yinyan to the city center. I'll take care of things here. All right. After that, the unconscious Hu Yinyan was taken into a van and driven towards the city center. Ching drove the little girl towards the seaside. Tiantian's hands and feet were tied, and her mouth was taped shut again. But the sound of the sobbing was very obvious. Ching saw the tears on the child's face from the rearview mirror. His eyes were filled with despair. After getting out of the car, Ching carried the child out and tore off the tape. Little Tian knelt down in front of Ching. Uncle, please save my mother. After hearing this, Ching was shocked. He thought that the child would say, Uncle, please don't kill me. However, he did not expect that the child was worried about his mother. This touched him even more. Uncle, I beg you. My mother hasn't had it easy these past few years. My father is a bastard. He didn't care about us since we were young. My mother is also very pitiful. I don't want her to die. She won't die. After a long while, Ching squeezed out these words. What about me? Ching was silent. I heard what that big bad guy said. He told you to throw me into the sea. Ching was still silent. Uncle, I'm really afraid of water. I choke when I swim. Don't throw me into the sea. If you want to kill me, just stab me. I heard that if you lose a lot of blood, you'll die very quickly. The child's words were like knives stabbing into Ching's heart. Before, he didn't feel anything for Huasiqian. But after betraying him and standing on Qin Shu's side, he suddenly felt that he was such a bastard. Uncle, just do it. Don't kill my mother. If you have the chance, tell her that Tian loves her. I don't blame her. The little girl's voice was very tender. Her eyes were also very pure. Tian Tian was not as smart as the twins. She was just an ordinary child. Oh, and my Uncle Shun. I love him too, Tian Tian added. At this time, Ah Ching slowly pulled out a gun from his waist. His face was filled with inexplicable sadness. Chapter 29:16. Ah Cheng aimed his gun at Tiantin. Then there was a loud bang. The little girl fell to the ground. Not far away, Huasiqian's other henchman watched from afar and then turned to leave. Seeing the figure walk away, Ah Cheng helped the child up from the ground. Run along this road by the sea and don't look back. When you reach a place with light, remember to ask the police to take you to Huamin. No, you can't go to him. Our boss has been watching Miss Wu too closely. You should go to Shinmingshi. He's still in the first hospital. Give this to him and don't forget it. Okay. Tian Tian nodded obediently. Hurry up, I have to go too. Ah Ching patted the child's shoulder. To his surprise, Tian Tian knelt on the ground and kowtowed 3 times to Ah Ching. Thank you, Uncle. You're a good person. I'm not a good person. I've done a lot of terrible things. Ah Ching was a little sad. No, you're a good person. When I was listening to the teacher telling us about Snow White, he said that Snow White's stepmother didn't like her because she was prettier than her stepmother, so she sent a hunter to kill her. However, the hunter couldn't bear to do so, so he killed a deer and went back to report on his mission. He let Snow White go, and later met the dwarf. I'm not Snow White, but Uncle also let me go. Uncle is a very kind hunter. The words of a child were always the simplest and most innocent. Ah Cheng felt very sad when he heard this. Okay, stop talking. Hurry up and go. Remember to find the police and then Shinmingshi. Ah Cheng reminded her repeatedly, afraid that Tian Tian would go the wrong way and meet the wrong person. After all, the child was too young to protect herself. Okay, I'll go find Uncle Shun. He's at the first hospital. Then Tian Tian turned and ran. Ah Cheng couldn't bear to see her like this. Before he shot, he told Tian Tian to fall to the ground. From afar, it looked like she was really shot to death. After all, Huasiqian had a lot of people working for him. If he wasn't careful, things could go wrong. Because Tian Tian was young, she ran very slowly. Before she could find Shinmingshi, Huayian's incident broke out. In the entire city, it was pretty bad when Qin Chu's informant reported. Gao Ran also called. Chu, what's going on with Huayian? I'm not sure either, but now everyone is saying that you did it. She kept calling your name. Now the internet is saying that you and I worked together to take revenge on her. Gao Ran was also in a terrible state. It's probably this woman's scheme again. Qin Chu was exceptionally calm. I brought Huayian to the Municipal Public Security Bureau. I'll only know the details when the results are out, Gao Ran said. Do you need me to go? Qin Chu asked. There's no need for that. You're in the eye of the storm now. You can't come to the Municipal Public Security Bureau. You'll be caught red-handed and even worse. All right. Qin Chu hung up the phone. His expression didn't look too good. Honey, what happened? Huamin could tell how serious the situation was from Qin Chu's expression. Something happened with Hua Yin. Is that really Hua Yin? I just saw that video on WeChat. The figure was blurry. I thought someone was using it to create hype. Huamin froze. Where's the video? Let me see it. Qin Chu didn't seem to think that things would be this serious. Huamin took out his phone, opened the video again, and showed it to Qin Chu. After watching it, his expression became even more serious. Chapter 29:17. It was a video of a mental patient. The woman in the video was disheveled, wearing only her underwear and underwear. She was crying and laughing on the street. There were many onlookers, and many of them were even taking pictures of her. They watched as the woman reached out to take off her underwear. At this point, the video was cut off and ended abruptly. Just by looking at the silhouette, they couldn't be sure that it was Hua Yin. However, just now, Gao Ran made the call, and his subordinates told him about it. Qin Chu was basically certain that the person in the video was Hua Yin. Honey, why aren't you saying anything? What's going on? Huamin was also very anxious. This is Hua Yin, Qin Chu said. Huh, Huamin was still a little surprised. What's going on? Is she pretending to be crazy? Huamin didn't know what Hua Yinyan was up to. I'm not sure. I have a feeling that there's something strange going on this time. Let's wait for the results from Gao Ran's examination first. Half an hour later, Gao Ran called again. Qin Shu and Huamin sat in the living room, waiting for the results. Shu, the results are out. To make it easier for Huamin to hear, Qin Shu put the call on speaker. What's the situation? There's a drug in Hua Yinyan's body. It's very special. It's even more powerful than poppies. It's probably a mixture of drugs that can cause mental disorder. What you're saying is that Hua Yinyan took a drug and went crazy on the street, taking off her own clothes. Huamin asked. Something like that. However, there's something very troublesome right now. What? Qin Shu raised his eyebrows. At that time, the witnesses all said in unison that the woman kept repeating one sentence, which was, Qin Shu, you'll die a horrible death for treating me like this. You won't have a good ending. What does it have to do with my husband? Huamin was a little angry. She knew that with Qin Shu's personality, he would rather shoot Hua Yinyan to death than feed her drugs. Qin Shu would never do something as despicable as running around naked in front of a prostitute. He probably wants me to be the scapegoat, Qin Shu guessed in a low voice. Yeah, that's what I think too. But what I'm not sure about right now is whether Hua Yinyan made you take the blame, or if there's someone else behind the scenes, Gao Ran said. Could it be Hua Xiqian? Huamin immediately thought of Hua Xiqian. It's hard to say now. The medical staff of the Municipal Public Security Bureau is giving Hua Yinyan an injection. Hopefully, she'll regain her consciousness, Gao Ran said. What drug? Can I go to the Municipal Public Security Bureau to have a look? As a doctor, Huamin was very sensitive to drugs. No, you can't go out now. Be a good girl and listen to me. Before Gao Ran could refuse, Qin Shu immediately refused. Huamin was pregnant, and Qin Shu wouldn't let her do anything dangerous. Previously, when Hua Yinyan was attacked by the poisonous spider, although Huamin wasn't hurt in the end, she was still scared when she thought about it. What should we do, honey? I feel like we're in a passive position. Huamin couldn't sit still anymore. On one side was Hua Yinyan, and on the other side was Hua Xiqian. Were the two mortal enemies working together now? I'm here. It'll be fine. You go and help Pudding and Little Bean change first. I'll go out and meet Aching. Then, Qin Shu got up and left the house while talking to Gao Ran on the phone. Inside the first hospital, Shen Mingxi's body had almost recovered and he could walk on his own. After Hua Yinyan's video was released, he was restless and couldn't get through to Hua Yinyan's phone. Just then, the door opened. Young master, there's a child outside who wants to see you. She says her name is Tian Tian, the bodyguard said. Quick, bring her in. Shen Mingxi was even more excited when he heard it was Tian Tian. Chapter 29:18. When Tian Tian came in, her white floral dress was stained with dirt and her face was dirty. She looked like a mess. Seeing Shen Mingxi, Tian Tian threw herself at him and hugged his leg. Uncle Shen, Boohoo Tianan, don't cry. Tell me why you're here. Where's your mom? Shen Mingxi knew the kid couldn't have come alone at this late hour. Something must have happened. Uncle Shen, please save my mom. She's about to be killed by the bad guys. The kid was so anxious that she cried as she spoke. Don't cry yet, baby. Take your time. Shen Mingxi scooped Tian Tian up and sat her down on the bed. He wet the towel on the side and wiped the child's face slowly. Are you hungry? Shen Mingxi knew the kid must have been scared out of her wits. I'm not hungry. Then drink some water first. Shen Mingxi poured a glass of warm water for the kid. Tian Tian was really thirsty and drank it all in one gulp. Do you want more? Shen Mingxi asked gently. Give me a little more, Uncle Shen, Tian Tian said timidly. Shen Mingxi poured a little more water for the kid. Then, afraid she would choke, he gently patted her back. After drinking the water, Tian Tian's expression softened. By the way, Uncle Shen, this is for you. The kid came back to her senses and didn't forget what Ah Cheng had given her. What's this? I don't know. The kid shook her head. Who gave it to you? Shen Mingxi asked. It's the big bad guy's accomplice. But he's not a bad guy. He's a good guy. The big bad guy told him to throw me into the sea, and he let me go, Tian Tian said intermittently. Shen Mingxi was also puzzled by her words. Okay, I'll take a look first. Shen Mingxi took a small object and looked at it. It was a mini recording device. He pressed the start button, and a man's voice came out. It was very simple. Hui Xiqian wants to deal with Qin Chu, so he used Hui Yinyan to frame Qin Chu. He wanted me to kill the child, but I didn't have the heart to do so. You should hide the child. If she's still alive, I'll be in trouble. It was just a few sentences, but they were very clear. Shen Mingxi immediately understood what he meant. Uncle Shun, Mommy and I were caught by a bad guy. Our hands and feet were tied, and our mouths were sealed. That bad guy gave Mommy medicine and wanted to kill Tian Tian. Tian Tian is very scared. Tian Tian hopes that Uncle Shun can save Mommy. Tian Tian's chubby little hand tugged at Shen Mingxi's sleeve. Shen Mingxi's heart ached when he heard her pleading in a low voice. Although he swore that he would no longer interfere in Hui Yinyan's matters, he still couldn't bear to see the mother and daughter suffer like this. Okay, Uncle will definitely help you save your mother. Don't worry, Tian Tian. Yes, I know that Uncle Shun treats us the best. The little girl finally showed a smile. Shen Mingxi then ordered someone to buy some food for Tian Tian. Then he decided to let Tian Tian stay with him in the hospital for the time being. He couldn't let Hui Xiqian see her. Tian Tian was frightened and always sleepy. After coaxing her to sleep, Shen Mingxi changed into casual clothes and opened the door. Young master, are you going out? Yes, but madam said that you're still recovering and can't go out. The two bodyguards were also in a difficult position. I'm going out to do something urgent. I'll be back in a while. You don't have to tell Mom. Then, Shen Mingxi pushed the bodyguards aside and went straight to the Municipal Public Security Bureau. After greeting Gao Ran, Shen Mingxi saw Hui Yinyan in the Municipal Public Security Bureau's interrogation room. She seemed to be a little delirious. She's like this for now. I don't know if she's real or just pretending. Go and take a look, Gao Ran said. Chapter 29:19. When Shen Mingxi walked in, Hui Yinyan was curled up in a corner on the floor. She was wearing men's clothing that didn't fit her at all. The police probably brought it back and put it on her. Her face was facing the corner of the wall, and she was muttering something under her breath. To be honest, even though she treated Shen Mingxi like this, he still felt sad to see her like this. Yinyan. He hadn't called her that in a long time. Unfortunately, Hui Yinyan didn't respond at all. She was still mumbling something to herself. Shen Mingxi slowly walked over, reached out his hand, and gently placed it on her shoulder. Yinyan, don't touch me, don't touch me. Go away, go away. You're the devil. Hui Yinyan reacted violently and looked at the man behind her in horror. Shen Mingxi was startled when she turned her face around. She wasn't the well-dressed Hui Yinyan from before. Even when she was down and out, she didn't look like this when she worked in the mall. Hui Yinyan's face was covered in dirt and lipstick was smeared all over her mouth. She looked very funny. Her hair was sticky. He didn't know if it was water or something else, but it looked very disgusting. Yinyan, I'm Shen Mingxi. Mingxi? Hui Yinyan's expression changed when she heard Mingxi's name. You, don't you remember me? Shen Mingxi? Hui Yinyan repeated in a low voice. Yes, I'm Shen Mingxi. Shen Mingxi, you're a heartless man. I hate you. Go away. Go away. You and Qin Chu are the same. They directly kill my mother. You're indirectly involved. You can't escape responsibility. Hui Yinyan seemed to become agitated again. Shen Mingxi didn't look angry anymore. He only felt pity and sadness. How did you become like this? What did Hui Xiqian feed you? Shen Mingxi looked at her sadly. Qin Chu. It was Qin Chu. Qin Chu fed me poison. It was Qin Chu who did this to me. Hui Yinyan didn't know if she was telling the truth or not, but she insisted that it was Qin Chu. Shen Mingxi didn't say anything. He just watched Hui Yinyan go crazy. She cried and laughed. Tian Tian's with me. I'll protect her. You don't have to worry about me, Shen Mingxi whispered to Hui Yinyan. Tian Tian? Who's Tian Tian? Who's Tian Tian? Yes, she didn't even remember her own daughter. Shen Mingxi heaved a long sigh and got up. Qin Chu, Don't run. I'm going to kill you. You and Huimin deserve to die. Those who hurt my mother and brother deserve to die. Hui Yinyan rushed up like a madwoman. However, two policewomen came in and grabbed her shoulders. Give her a sedative, Gao Ran said. Then, a doctor from the Municipal Public Security Bureau came in and immediately injected Hui Yinyan with a sedative. Only then did she go back to sleep. How long has she been like this? Shen Mingxi walked out and asked. When we found her, she was much worse than this. You saw the video that went viral on the internet, right? She was running around naked in the busiest area in the city center. We found drugs in her body. She's not faking it. She's under the influence of drugs. Do you know what drugs they are? Shen Mingxi asked again. We're not sure. Our people are analyzing it. So far, we only found some drugs that control the nerves in the brain and some snake venom that can make people lose their minds. These synthetic drugs are the most troublesome because the antidote is very difficult to make. Hui Xiqian, that bastard, I'll never let him get away with it. Shen Mingxi clenched his fists tightly. Young Master Shun, if you want to help Hui Yinyan get revenge on Hui Xiqian, I have an idea, Gao Ran suddenly said. Chapter 2920. Director Gao, please instruct me. I don't dare to instruct you. It's just my personal opinion. You know that Qin Shu and I are close friends. Of course, I'll think for him. I think you two can work together to deal with Hui Xiqian. Qin Shu and I? Shen Mingxi was surprised. Yes, but I don't think President Qin needs me. Shen Mingxi knew that Qin Shu was arrogant and powerful. He didn't need his help. Are you stupid? You can do it secretly without telling him. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, Gao Ran said. Yes, this time I won't let Hui Xiqian off the hook. But Director Gao, Yinyan, we can't let Hui Yinyan out. We plan to detain her for observation and then send her to the neurology department. She'll be a bad influence if she goes out like this. Plus, you know that she doesn't have any family left. Without a guardian, she can't even take care of herself. How can she take care of the child? I'll take care of the child. Okay, that's it. After Shen Mingxi left the bureau, he couldn't suppress his anger. After some thought, he impulsively went to find Hui Xiqian. It was already midnight. After leaving the bureau, he didn't go straight to the hospital. Instead, he went straight to the Huo mansion. Hui Xiqian, you bastard, get out here. Shen Mingxi yelled at the Huo mansion. President Shun, I'm sorry. My boss is resting. If you have anything to say, we could talk tomorrow. Tell that bastard to stop hiding. If he's a man, then get out here. Shen Mingxi was as angry as a beast at the thought of Hui Yinyan's condition. Even if he didn't love her anymore, he didn't want to see Hui Yinyan being treated like that. Plus, Hui Xiqian and Hui Yinyan grew up together. Even if they weren't close, they were still family. How could they be so cruel? After Shen Mingxi yelled for a while, Hui Xiqian finally couldn't stand it anymore and came out. He was wearing a white bathrobe and holding a glass of red wine in his hand. He looked very relaxed. CEO, Shun, what can I do for you in the middle of the night? Hui Xiqian, stop pretending. You know very well what you did to Hui Yinyan. What do you mean? I don't understand at all. President Shun, are you sleepwalking? Hui Xiqian laughed. Hui Xiqian, you'll get retribution for this. You won't even let a child go. You're inhumane. At this point, Shen Mingxi rushed up to Hui Xiqian excitedly and raised his fist to punch him. However, he was stopped by Hui Xiqian's bodyguards, who then pushed him to the ground. Because Shen Mingxi hadn't fully recovered and was still injured from the car accident, he was easily pushed to the ground. TSK, TSK. Look at you. You're not even as strong as a woman. How dare you yell at me like this? Shen Mingxi, are you still breastfeeding? Hui Xiqian said and poured the red wine on Shen Mingxi. Hui Xiqian, fuck your mother. Young Master Shun, who was well-educated, cursed for the first time. He was so angry at Hui Xiqian that he lost his mind. I'm sorry, I don't have a mother. I only have an adoptive mother. If you're interested in that bitch, you can have her any time. Hui Xiqian was so shameless and perverted that Shen Mingxi didn't know what to say. You guys throw this kid out. I'm going to rest. After speaking, Hui Xiqian turned and went upstairs. A few of his bodyguards carried Shen Mingxi and threw him on the road outside the door. Some paparazzi took pictures of Shun Mingxi, who was in a mess. The next day, Chapter 29-21. The title was ridiculous. Young Master Shun went to pick a fight with the president of the Hoa Corporation in the middle of the night and was thrown out of his house. This incident caused quite a stir in the area. Even Wei Ying and the others who were hiking outside saw it. One of the girls in the group saw it when she was browsing the news on her cell phone. "Hey, Ying, come here. Look." "What?" "Young Master Shun is on the headlines." Hearing Shun Mingxi's name, Wei Ying immediately walked over and took the cell phone. After reading the news, her expression was complicated. Why is young Master Shun picking a fight with Hua Xiqian? Weird, the girl murmured to herself. You don't know? He must be doing it because of Hua Yinyan. Didn't you guys know about the viral video of Hua Yinyan streaking yesterday? It said that Hua Xiqian is behind it, a man said. Why is it Hua Xiqian? Isn't it Qin Shu? Someone asked. You guys don't understand. How could Qin Shu do something so despicable? It said that Hua Xiqian did it to frame Qin Shu. Young Master Shun must be mad because of Hua Yinyan. He's so infatuated. Hua Yinyan cheated on him so many times, but he's still protecting her. He must be mad because of her. Hearing his words, Wei Ying's expression changed. Ying, are you okay? I'm fine. Wei Ying shook her head. At this moment, Yi Zhaoyang, who had been silent, walked over. He took off his jacket and put it on Wei Ying. It's cold in the mountains in the morning. Don't catch a cold. It's okay. I brought my own. Thank you. After refusing, Wei Ying took off the jacket and gave it back to Yi Zhaoyang. Then she went into the tent. She seemed to be in a bad mood. You guys don't talk about Shun Mingxi and Hua Yinyan anymore, Yi Zhaoyang ordered the rich kids. Everyone knew what he meant. Yi Zhaoyang wanted to pursue Wei Ying and didn't want their relationship to be affected. South Hill Manor. Here, Mrs. Qin, your breakfast is ready. Qin Shu placed a sumptuous breakfast in front of Huamin. After the second pregnancy, Huamin didn't sleep well and woke up very early in the morning, so the couple would get up early to make breakfast. It was also exceptionally heartwarming. Huamin looked at his plate. There were 2 fried eggs, a grilled sausage, a fried beef patty, a sandwich, a plain donut, a cup of warm milk, and a few slices of pineapple and kiwi. It was so nutritious. On the other hand, Qin Shu only had simple bread, toast, and milk. Ahem, how can I eat like that? It's like I'm exploiting you. Huamin joked. Go ahead and eat. There are 2 of you now. You should eat more. I'm just pregnant. I'm not a pig. I really don't need to be like this. I'm afraid I'll weigh 160 pounds after I give birth. I don't despise you for weighing 160 pounds. Qin Shu chuckled. I despise myself. Fat people don't have a future. No, you have to eat some for me. Then, Huamin picked up a grilled sausage with a steel fork and brought it to Mr. Qin's mouth. The scene of the couple feeding each other was especially loving. Qin Shu opened his mouth obediently and ate the food Huamin brought over. Are you busy at work today? Do you want me to get you some documents? Huamin asked. Not much. You stay at home with the kids today. Honey, I think the war has begun. Hua Xiqian seems to be impatient to deal with us. Yes, we can't go on like this. I think we have to strike first and kill him before he can react, Huamin suggested. I'm devising a plan. Qin Shu nodded. I have a plan. I think it's pretty good. Do you want to hear it? Huamin said and intimately wrapped her arms around Qin Shu's neck. I can tell it's not a good plan from the way you're trying to curry favor with me. I don't think you should say it. Qin Shu lowered his head and refused. Chapter 29-22. How can you do that? I haven't even said anything yet, and you're already killing my idea. Can't we have fun together? Huamin pouted. As your husband, I know you very well. You don't have any good plans right now, so I don't have to listen, Qin Shu said calmly. Don't give me a chance to show off. Otherwise, a lot of people will think that I've become stupid again after getting pregnant. Haha. After Huamin finished speaking, she kissed Qin Shu on the cheek and began her sugar-coated attack. Mr. Qin had never been able to resist his wife, so, in the end, his heart softened. Then let's hear it. Qin Shu took a bite of bread and looked at Huamin. Ahem. Calm down. Listen to me slowly. My plan is like this. After speaking, Huamin whispered her idea into Qin Shu's ear. After hearing what she said, Qin Shu's face immediately darkened. Honey, what do you think? Huamin looked excited. Very good. It's a great plan. Huamian, you're so smart. Really? Huamin asked with a smile. You have the nerve to ask me if it's real or not. Huamian, are you asking for a beating? What kind of bullshit plan is that? Mr. Qin was so angry that he threw the bread onto the table. I think it's great. Huasiqian has always been on guard against you. Whether it's you, Su Yu, or Gao Ran, none of you can do anything to him. But I'm different. I can lower his guard. As long as I can lure him out, then we'll all be caught in one fell swoop. Huamin raised her little fist, full of confidence. So you came up with the stupid idea of using yourself as bait? Qin Shu questioned coldly. It's not a bad idea. I think it's pretty good. As the saying goes, you can't trap a wolf without sacrificing your child. You can't trap a hoodlum without sacrificing your wife, Huamin quibbled. I'm sorry, but I really don't want to leave my wife, and I don't want to be a hooligan, Mr. Qin denied. Huamin, hubby, don't be like this. Let's discuss it again. There's no need to discuss. That's impossible. Even if I die, I won't let you lure the snake out of its hole. Just give up. Qin Shu's attitude was firm. Honey, look at the situation we're in now. I'm doing this for the good of our family. I have a way. You don't have to worry about this. You're pregnant now, so you have to take care of yourself and the girls. I'm a man, your husband, and the father of the children. I have the responsibility to protect this family. That's all. After that, Qin Shu got up, picked up his briefcase, and left the room. It was obvious that Huamin's rotten idea had really annoyed him. He didn't even give her a goodbye kiss before he left. He did it every day. I seem to have angered my husband. Huamin pouted awkwardly. The truth was, she had thought about this for a long time and thought it was feasible before she said it. Plus, this was the first time she had made up her mind to kill Huasiqian. She had many chances before, but Huamin still relented. However, she didn't expect that things would get more troublesome. So this time, Huamin decided that no matter what others said about her, she had to destroy Huasiqian completely. Otherwise, the whole family wouldn't have a good life. This was the undeniable truth. At the Hua Corporation, Ah Chung, go to lynching tonight and bring back all my weapons, Huasiqian ordered. Boss, are we going to war? Ah Chung knew exactly how much firepower Huasiqian had in lynching. Chapter 29-23. Huasiqian smiled slightly, but didn't say anything. Go. Bring a few more people with you. Don't let anything go wrong. Yes, boss. Huasiqian nodded. Then, Ah Ching turned around and walked out. After making sure no one was behind him, he immediately took out his phone and called Qin Shu. Mr. Qin, they're already preparing to make a move. I'm going to lynch Young tonight to get some weapons. He's been saving them over the years. They're very powerful. Okay, got it. Qin Shu's face was still calm, as if this had nothing to do with him. I'm leaving tonight. It'll probably be after midnight when I get back. Be careful. Okay. Mr. Qin, the child's heart surgery has been completed. Thank you. Ah Chung thanked Qin Shu from the bottom of his heart. Although Qin Shu was also suspected of being a threat, he indirectly saved the child during the heart surgery. He wasn't like Huasiqian, who was so heartless that he didn't even let go of Hua Yinyan's 5-year-old daughter. Ah Ching didn't know when it started, but he felt like he had changed. For some reason, he felt at ease when he was working for Qin Shu. After Ah Ching left, Huasiqian's gaze became subtle. Then, he picked up his phone and dialed a number. Wait for my order. Get ready to move. Then, Huasiqian hung up the phone with a creepy smile on his face. After Huayanyan's incident, a large number of ghostwriters appeared on all major forums, and they even exposed a recording. Huayanyan said Qin Shu's name herself. This completely targeted Qin Shu. That day, GK was surrounded by all major media outlets. Some self-proclaimed righteous people even brought eggs and mineral water to Qin Shu's company to cause trouble and curse. Gao Ran had no choice but to bring the police to protect the company, but they were accused of colluding with the police. This incident had a very bad impact on the local community. The head of the public security department directly called Gao Ran's phone to question him. Mayor Yin also sternly reprimanded Gao Ran for his incompetence. Huamin was at home. When he saw the live broadcast on TV, he started to feel uneasy. How did this happen? What's going on, Mian? Qin Shu's parents were also confused when they saw the news. It's okay, Dad, Mom. I believe that he will handle it well. Sis-in-law, this Hui Yin is so disgusting. Her mother is dead, but she's still haunting you. Why don't you just kill her so that she won't cause any more trouble? Qin Ning was also furious. It had been a long time since the group had been pushed to the teeth of the storm. Qin Shu's situation was a bit troublesome, but it was not to the point of being in a terrible situation. Qin Shu knew that this was Hua Xiqian's little trick. Group headquarters Qin Shu picked up his phone and made a video call to Huamin. Honey, how's the company? I saw a lot of reporters surrounding the company. Do you want to hold a press conference? Huamin asked anxiously. No, it's okay. Have you had lunch? No, how can I eat? I'm in a hurry. Dad and Mom are worried about you too. Good girl, eat first. Don't starve. Qin Shu's eyes were filled with gentleness. But, Mian, the situation is a bit different now. Listen to me. Okay, you Mom, Dad, Ning Ning and the kids don't go out. Don't even take one step out of our house. Okay, I hope that after tonight, everything will be over, Qin Shu said. Okay, I'll listen to you, honey. Huamin seemed to understand the meaning behind Qin Shu's words. It seemed that the war with Hua Xiqian was about to start. After hanging up the video call, Huamin told him what Qin Shu said. 2 hours later, the kids went downstairs to play with their grandparents in the living room. Qin Ning was video chatting with Tang Chuan in the room. Huamin felt a bit sleepy, so she went back to the master bedroom to sleep. In her sleep, she vaguely felt that someone was slowly approaching her. Chapter 29-24. Huamin sensed danger and tried to wake up, but she couldn't. In the afternoon, Qin Shu video called Huamin after he finished his work, but she didn't pick up. He sent her a WeChat message. He called her. Qin Shu immediately panicked. He called the landline, and Pudding picked up. Daddy, Pudding called out sweetly. Pudding, where's your mommy? She's upstairs. She went back to her room to rest an hour ago. She looks very tired, Pudding said. I called her, but she didn't pick up. I sent her a WeChat message, but she didn't reply. Then what's going on? Pudding was curious, because she knew that her mommy was a light sleeper. She would wake up at the slightest sound, so she could hear the phone ringing. Go up and see. Okay, hurry up. Qin Shu was very anxious. Okay. Pudding didn't hang up and immediately ran upstairs. She gently knocked on the door, afraid that she would scare her mommy. Mommy, are you in there? After 5 seconds of not getting a reply, Pudding gently pushed the door open. Pudding let out a sigh of relief when she saw the person on the bed. Phew! She's sleeping, Pudding murmured. Pudding saw Huamin lying on the bed, wearing her favorite nightgown, with her back to the door. Her back rose and fell slightly. It seemed like she hadn't woken up yet. Pudding gently closed the door, walked out, and picked up the phone. Daddy, Mommy is sleeping. You saw it with your own eyes? Qin Shu asked. Yeah, I saw it. I just opened the door and she's inside. She's probably in a deep sleep and didn't hear me. Or maybe her phone is on silent. Do you want me to wake her up? Pudding asked. Forget it. Maybe she's too nervous and didn't sleep well last night. Let her sleep. Okay. Daddy, is there anything else? Is there anything wrong at home? Is there anything strange going on? Or did someone strange come? Qin Shu asked worriedly. No, just like usual. That's good. Yes. Then you and your sister shouldn't run around. I might send you to the Su family tonight. Go to the Su family? Why? I'll tell you about this later. Anyway, listen to me. Okay, don't worry, Daddy. Pudding nodded obediently. Afterwards, Qin Shu hung up the phone with his daughter. Then, Qin Shu called Suyu. However, in order to prevent their conversation from being monitored, Qin Shu asked Suyu to meet him at the company. Suyu happened to be having a meal with a few directors nearby. Halfway through the meal, he received a call. and rushed over. President Qin, President Su is here. Yes, let him in. All right. Assistant Yang brought Su Yu into the CEO's office. You don't seem to ask me out often. Something big must have happened, right? Su Yu went straight to the point. Take a seat first. Su Yu nodded and sat down on the sofa across from Qin Chu. Tonight, I might have to ask you for a favor. What is it? Su Yu was slightly surprised. After dark, take Mion and the kids to your house for a night. My house. Su Yu was even more confused. It's not your private mansion. It's Grandpa Su's house. Qin Chu corrected her. Why so sudden? Su Yu knew that Qin Chu wouldn't let his wife and kids stay over for no reason. Because Lord Su's place is heavily guarded, Qin Chu said straightforwardly. Only then did Su Yu react. He asked in a serious tone, Are you planning to fight with Hua Xiqian? Chapter 29-25. Yeah. Damn, so sudden. You didn't tell me in advance. Why should I tell you? Su Yu was speechless. I want to work with you to deal with that bastard. I have as many men as you do. Su Yu said. No need. Su Yu was speechless. Why not? Su Yu was confused. I'm not at the point where I need my love rival to help me. Mr. Qin said faintly. Su Yu was speechless. Is this the time for you to be so arrogant? Su Yu was on the verge of breaking down. Qin Chu really made him speechless. No. Are you being reasonable? Is this the time for you to be willful? Su Yu was angry. No. This was Xiqian that easy to deal with. So you try to persuade Qin Chu. That won't do either. Qin Chu looked calm. Damn. Su Yu was completely speechless at this moment. It was so tiring to communicate with Qin Chu. No matter what he said, he would only reply with one sentence. Su Yu really wanted to run over and ask Huamin how he could stand such a boring man. How could he continue to be in love with him for 10 years? If I were a woman, I definitely wouldn't be with you. What the hell? Su Yu accused Qin Chu angrily. Mr. Qin replied with a serious expression. If you were a woman, I wouldn't want you either. Why? Because you're too ugly, Qin Chu said. Su Yu was speechless. Can't we have a pleasant conversation? Do you want to fight? Su Yu was angry and amused. It's settled then. Go pick them up at South Hill Manor at 6 p.m. Qin Chu looked down at his watch. Just Mion and the kids? Su Yu confirmed. Yes. What about Qin Ning and your parents? Ning Ning will be taken care of by Tang Chuan. I'll send someone to take care of my parents, but I don't think Hua Xiqian will care about my parents. I'm worried about the kids and Mion. That's true. All right, it's settled then. After that, Su Yu got up and walked out. Thank you. Qin Chu thanked Su Yu even though it was very cold and stiff. No need. I'm not doing this for you, Su Yu said without turning his head. When he reached the door, Su Yu paused and whispered, Be careful. He knew that the battle between Qin Chu and Hua Xiqian would happen sooner or later. Hua Xiqian had been plotting for years to take Amin away from Qin Chu. How could Qin Chu, who loved his wife so much, allow such a thing to happen? Both men had high IQs and were influential figures. Such a battle would probably be earth-shattering, right? That was what Su Yu thought, however. He didn't expect Hua Xiqian to be such an unpredictable person. An hour later, Qin Chu thought Huamin was about to wake up. He called her again and wanted to tell her about going to Su Yu's house tonight. Unfortunately, she still didn't pick up his call or reply to his WeChat message. Qin Chu had a bad feeling about this, so he didn't call home this time. Instead, he turned on his computer and pulled up the real-time surveillance footage. He found a master bedroom and turned it on. As expected, he saw Huamin sleeping on the bed. She was wearing her favorite light pink nightgown. Her shoulder-length hair was black and thick. Even though she had given birth twice and was pregnant with her second child, her body was still as slender as a young girl's. Qin Chu's gaze softened. Just as he was about to turn off the video, his hand froze. Suddenly, his hand paused, and he stared at the screen for more than 10 seconds. That person isn't Mion. After Qin Chu said this, his face turned pale. Chapter 29-26. When he realized this, Qin Chu broke out in a cold sweat for the first time. He He regretted that he didn't observe the situation more carefully earlier. When he asked Pudding to check on Huomian's room, Pudding said that Huomian was sleeping. Huomian's back was facing the door, which meant that Huomian was sleeping on the left side. Qin turned on the surveillance camera and found that Huomian was still sleeping on the left side. This was definitely abnormal. Although it was only a small detail, Qin knew that it was a big deal. Huomian was a medical student and cared a lot about his health. It was the most basic knowledge of medicine. Sleeping on the left side was not a healthy position because most people's hearts were on the left side. Sleeping on the left side would put pressure on the heart. Therefore, Huomian spent most of his time lying on his back or on the right side. Even if he changed his position and slept on the left side, it wouldn't last long. However, it had been a long time since he called Pudding, but the person on the bed was still in the same position. This could only mean two things. First, she wasn't Huomian. Second, she was hiding her identity by turning her back to the door. She didn't want her family to find out, and she also turned her back to the surveillance camera so that Qin wouldn't find out. 10 seconds later, Qin jumped up, kicked open the office door, and ran out. "President Qin, where are you going?" Yang was also worried when he saw how panicked the president was. After all, he had been working for the president for so long and had never seen him so anxious. Qin didn't have time to go to the underground parking lot. He drove a domestic Volkswagen that belonged to an unknown employee and sped all the way. It was rush hour and he was stuck in a traffic jam. Qin honked furiously and called Huomian, but he still didn't pick up. At this time, he didn't dare to call home and asked them to go to the master bedroom. He was unsure of the identity of the person who had impersonated Huomian. If it was an assassin sent by Hua Xiqian, then wouldn't his family be in danger? On the other side, Qin told Suyu to go to South Hill Manor to pick him up after dark. However, Suyu could not wait for the sky to turn dark. If Qin really wanted to deal with Hua Xiqian tonight, he would not be able to do it. In that case, South Hill Manor would definitely be very dangerous. Therefore, he drove a limited edition Rolls-Royce to pick up the children and Huomian. South Hill Manor, the nanny opened the door for Suyu. When he walked in, the twins, who were playing in the living room, jumped up happily. "Wow, it's Handsome Sue." Little Bean's eyes widened. "Handsome Sue, why are you here?" Pudding asked calmly. "I'm here to bring you guys to my house." "Where's your mommy?" "Mommy is sleeping upstairs," Little Bean said. "What kind of sleep is she sleeping? What time is it?" "Go and wake her up." Suyu smiled. "Suyu, what do you mean?" Qin was a little confused when she saw Suyu suddenly come to pick them up. She even felt a little unfriendly. "This is between your brother and me. Don't worry about it. Hurry up and pack up. Go and find Tang Chuan." Suyu waved his hand. "What's going on?" "My brother also asked me to find Tang Chuan." "What's going on?" Qin did not seem to know. "Don't ask what you shouldn't ask. It must be for your own good. Hurry up and go if you don't want your brother to be distracted," Suyu said. Qin wanted to say something, but in the end, she opened her mouth but did not say anything. Little Bean climbed into Suyu's arms like a little monkey and began to act like a spoiled child. Pudding followed his instructions and went upstairs to wake up Huomian. However, to her surprise, Chapter 29-27. "Mommy, wake up." Pudding knocked on the door, but she didn't get a response. "Mommy, wake up. Uncle Sue is here. I think he wants to talk to you." Pudding raised her voice, but she still didn't get a response. Pudding thought it was strange and slowly opened the door. She saw her mommy sleeping in the same position. "Mommy," Pudding tried to raise her voice. At this time, even those who were asleep would be woken up by the noise. But Huomian still didn't respond. Pudding was anxious. She rushed over and shook Huomian's body. "Mommy, what's wrong with you?" As soon as Pudding finished speaking, the woman on the bed got up and grabbed Pudding by the neck. Pudding couldn't breathe and felt uncomfortable. "Little bastard, we meet again." Zhang Manlin smiled viciously. "Why is it you?" Pudding didn't expect the person on the bed at home to be the bitch Zhang Manlin. How could you have thought of that? Hua Xiqian's plan was perfect. He tricked everyone by swapping out the real person. "You let go of me." "Let go of you? Is that possible? I'm counting on you to leave South Hill Manor safely." Zhang Manlin smiled viciously. My mommy, where is she? Pudding realized that her mommy might have disappeared a long time ago. When her daddy called, she might have seen Zhang Manlin. Your mommy is done for this time. Haha, you'll never see her again. What did you do to her? You evil woman. Pudding glared at Zhang Manlin, wanting to eat her up. I can't decide whether your mommy lives or dies. You'll have to ask Huasiqian. Bitch, I'll kill you. Pudding suddenly struggled with all her strength and reached out to grab Zhang Manlin's neck. Zhang Manlin didn't expect the kid to be this strong. Her neck was scratched and bled. She shoved Pudding to the ground, knocking the porcelain vase off the table behind her. The vase fell to the ground and shattered into pieces with a loud crack. Sui was playing with Lil Bean downstairs. Hearing that something was wrong, he immediately rushed upstairs. This was the scene he saw when he came up. Zhang Manlin held a sharp dagger against Pudding's neck. She grabbed Pudding by the collar as if she was grabbing a chick, showing no mercy. Zhang Manlin, why are you here? Sue asked in surprise. Handsome Sue. She works for Huasiqian. She replaced Mommy with Huasiqian. Mommy is in Huasiqian's hands now. Hurry and tell Daddy to save her. Pudding's logical thinking was very clear. Even at such a critical moment, she was still able to concisely and completely narrate the whole thing. After hearing what she said, Su Yu's expression changed drastically. Zhang Manlin, where's Huamin? Su Yu clenched his fists. He wanted to tear Zhang Manlin into pieces to vent his anger. How would I know? She was taken away by Huasiqian a few hours ago. I'm just following Huasiqian's orders and pretending to be Huamin. What did you say? Su Yu's expression became more and more unsightly. A few hours ago, she was already in Huasiqian's hands? Didn't that mean? He didn't dare to think further. Handsome Su, kill this woman. Don't let her walk out of here alive. Don't worry about me. Pudding looked at Su Yu calmly and said word by word. Chapter 29-28. Pudding, what the hell are you talking about? Su Yu was exasperated. I'm serious. Don't worry about me. But don't let this bitch out. Pudding was ready to risk everything. Kid, you're wrong. Su Yu loves you so much. How could he let you die? My life isn't as valuable as yours. Zhang Manlin laughed. Zhang Manlin, let go of Pudding and I'll let you go. Su Yu was scared that Zhang Manlin would hurt Pudding by accident. I don't believe you. Get out of my way. I want to take her out. I'll only let her go when I'm sure it's safe, Zhang Manlin insisted. Handsome Su, don't believe her. You can't let her go. Pudding didn't want to let Zhang Manlin go. It was obvious how much she hated her. Why should I believe you? What if you still hold Pudding hostage after you get out? Su Yu asked angrily. Because you don't have a choice. You can only trust me. Either you let me go, and I'll take the brat out. Once we're safe, you let her go. Or, I'll kill the brat now, and then you'll kill me. I don't care if we die together. My life is worthless. How can it compare to President Qin's precious daughter? Ha! From Zhang Manlin's expression, it was obvious that she wasn't normal. She was crazy. Because her face was disfigured, she looked extremely ferocious. Damn woman, let go of my sister. My daddy won't let you go. Pudding was also anxious. She pointed at Zhang Manlin and cursed. Your daddy? Ha! He can't even protect himself. How can he deal with me? Su Yu, what should we do? Qi Ning was also out of ideas. The two elders of the Qin family were so scared that they were about to have a heart attack. They were taken to a room to rest. In the living room, only Pudding, Qi Ning, and Su Yu were there. Then, Zhang Manlin held Pudding hostage with a dagger. The scene was extremely frightening. What? Do you still want to think about it? Zhang Manlin saw that Su Yu wasn't willing to let her go. Anxious, he exerted some force on the dagger. She felt a sharp pain, but Pudding didn't make a sound, because she knew that Su Yu was already anxious enough. If she cried because of the pain, Su Yu would be even more anxious. But there were already bloodstains on White Yi's neck. Little bastard, you've got guts. You didn't say anything. Zhang Manlin lowered her head and smiled sinisterly. Bitch Zhang, fuck your ancestors. If you dare to hurt my sister, I'll kill your whole family. Do you believe me? Little Bean had never been so violent before. Although she often quarreled with her sister, their relationship as sisters was actually very good. Last time, they were kidnapped by Hee Youngjun and Shunjiani. Little Bean was injured and Pudding risked her life to fight the two criminals to give her sister an injection. Therefore, when Little Bean saw Zhang Manlin threaten her sister with a knife, her heart raced. "I just like to see you hate me, but can't kill me." Zhang Manlin was extremely arrogant. "Handsome Sue, listen to me. You can't let this woman go. She's an untrustworthy person. Once she gets out, she won't let me go." Pudding calmly tried to persuade Suyu. "Pudding, no, I can't watch you like this." Suyu felt a dull pain in his heart. It was a very difficult choice. "Suyu, don't be a sissy. I'll count to 3. If you don't let me go, I'll kill this little girl right here," Zhang Manlin threatened. Chapter 29-29. "Go ahead. Even if you kill me, you won't be able to get out. My dad will skin you alive and tear out your tendons. He'll make you wish you were dead." Pudding glared at Zhang Manlin. "Haha, so what? No matter how you torture me, you won't be able to come back to life." Zhang Manlin grasped this point and was very arrogant. "Zhang Manlin, are you evil? You won't even let a child go. Are you even human?" Qin Ning pointed at Zhang Manlin and yelled with tears in her eyes. "Shut up. If it weren't for this family, I wouldn't have ended up like this. These two damn girls colluded with Qin Shu and tricked me, causing me to be tortured by Huasi Qian. I'll never forget it. Of course, Huasi Qian is my enemy, and so are you. If I have to destroy one side, then I'll choose Huasi Qian to destroy you. I just don't want to see you happy and reunited with your family. Qin Shu cares about his wife and daughter the most, right? Haha, then I'll lose him completely today. Huamin is already in Huasi Qian's hands. If this little brat dies in my hands, then my wish will be fulfilled. So, see you? It doesn't matter if you let me go or not. It's enough for me to die with this little girl." Zhang Manlin was provoking Suyu with her words. Suyu's expression changed again and again. He didn't know what to do. He couldn't risk Pudding's life. If something really happened to Pudding, Huamin would never forgive him. He knew that. "Handsome Sue, don't be provoked by this woman's words. She's doing it on purpose. She's afraid of death. She just wants you to let her go," Pudding said. Just then, a voice came from the living room door. "Let go of my daughter." The voice was cold. Who else could it be but Mr. Qin? "Big brother, you're finally back. What should we do? Sister-in-law is missing." Qin Ning cried when she saw Qin Shu. "Daddy, please save sister and mommy. This bad woman made sister's neck bleed." Little Bean ran over and hugged Qin Shu's leg. Qin Shu got up and carried Little Bean in his arms with one hand. He looked very handsome. "You came back just in time. You decide." Seeing that Qin Shu had returned, Suyu also breathed a sigh of relief. This man always had a way to solve all these problems, didn't he? Suyu felt that Qin Shu was indeed much calmer than him in certain aspects. "President Qin, long time no see. I missed you so much." Zhang Manlin looked at Qin Shu with a strange smile. "Indeed, it's you." On the way back, Qin Shu wondered if it was a female assassin pretending to be Huamin. After all, Huamin's body was lying there for a few hours. His family could easily recognize it, unless they found someone who looked like Huamin's figure and back. Zhang Manlin was the best candidate. "Yeah, it's me. I'm just like a ghost. If you want to blame someone, blame yourself for being soft-hearted and not killing me. That's why you left behind trouble." "Where's my wife?" Qin Shu asked. "Do you think I'll tell you?" Zhang Manlin smiled viciously. "Daddy, don't worry about me. Kill her and avenge Mommy. This woman switched Mommy." Pudding looked into Qin Shu's eyes and said, "Let me go, or I'll kill her right now." Zhang Manlin put more force into the knife. Blood oozed out of Pudding's neck. It was terrifying. "Don't hurt my daughter, and I'll let you go," Qin Shu said decisively. Chapter 29-30. "Daddy," Pudding wanted to say something, but Qin Shu gave her a look. She immediately understood what her daddy meant and didn't say anything else. "Big brother, are we really going to let her go?" What if she hurts Pudding again? Qin Ning asked worriedly. Let her go. Qin Chu was determined. Then, the bodyguards behind him opened the door to the living room. Zhang Manlin looked around cautiously and then walked out with Pudding. When they passed by the swimming pool, Qin Chu coughed lightly. Pudding immediately used her head to slam into Zhang Manlin's stomach. She lost her balance and leaned back. The knife in her hand also lost its center of gravity and flew out. Behind them was the swimming pool. Pudding and Zhang Manlin both fell into the water. Qin Chu immediately put down Pudding in his arms. His first reaction was to jump into the pool and carry his daughter out. Then, the bodyguards rushed up and grabbed Zhang Manlin. They pulled her out of the pool. My brother is so cool. Qin Ning was excited. In their eyes, such a serious matter was solved by Qin Chu in less than 2 minutes. Most importantly, Qin Chu and Pudding had a tacit understanding. The father and daughter knew what to do with just one look. Go and bandage Pudding's wound. Qin Chu handed Pudding to Suyu. Sis, how are you? Does it hurt? Pudding leaned over and cried. I'm fine. Don't cry. Pudding comforted her sister gently. Handsome Su, don't worry about me. Go find my mommy. We can't let Huasiqian take her away. Pudding didn't forget to remind Suyu. Don't worry. Leave it to me and your daddy. Don't worry. Just bandage your wound. Suyu also felt bad for Pudding. She was still thinking about her mommy at a time like this. Qin Chu was wearing a black long-sleeve shirt with the sleeves rolled up to his elbows. He slowly walked over and saw Zhang Manlin in a sorry state. Ha, don't waste your time. I'm not going to tell you where Huamin is. You'll never see her again, Zhang Manlin said viciously. Qin Chu picked up the dagger that Zhang Manlin had used before. Then, he suddenly stabbed the knife into Zhang Manlin's waist. It wasn't a fatal spot, but the pain was unbearable. Unable to withstand the sudden pain, Zhang Manlin screamed in agony. At this moment, she was even less courageous than Pudding, wailing like a ghost and howling like a wolf. Don't worry, I won't ask you. I just want to avenge my daughter. That's all. With that, Qin Chu pulled out the dagger from Zhang Manlin's waist. Then he stabbed the other side. Qin Chu, what kind of hero are you? How could you torture a woman like this? Zhang Manlin cursed. Heroes? I've never been one. With that, Qin Chu slowly grabbed the dagger and pulled it out again. Blood began to flow from both sides of Zhang Manlin's waist. Just when she thought it was all over, Qin Chu stabbed the dagger into the middle of her stomach again. Very good. It's not fatal, but it'll hurt you forever. Qin Chu looked at his masterpiece with satisfaction. He was from medical school, so he knew the structure of the human body too well. This stab avoided all the vital parts. It wouldn't kill Zhang Manlin, but it would make her life worse than death. Qin Chu, you'll get what you deserve. Zhang Manlin cursed with difficulty. Chapter 29:31. Retribution? I've never believed in such things. I only know that I'm in control of my own fate, not the heavens. Qin Chu said calmly. Ha, you're going to lose Huamin this time. No, I've never lost her. You will. This time is different. Huasiqian's plan for all these years has been activated. Ha! Zhang Manlin, a woman like you, do you know what's best for you? Qin Chu stared into her eyes and asked word for word. You want me to cut you into 8 pieces, right? Ha ha ha. Zhang Manlin laughed maniacally. No, to deal with you. I can only vent my anger by burning you to ashes. Then, Qin Chu pulled out the dagger from Zhang Manlin's abdomen again. The 3 wounds bled at the same time. It was very fast. Zhang Manlin felt that she was about to faint. Then her body went limp and she fell backward. The bodyguards couldn't hold her up. Qin Chu looked at the despicable woman on the ground and pulled out his gun from behind him. He picked up the cushion on the side and shot Zhang Manlin in the head. This shot directly blew her head off. The bodyguards were also shocked. Drag her out, burn her, and throw her into the sea. Qin Chu ordered. Yes, he was really going to burn Zhang Manlin to ashes. He thought that this woman couldn't be arrogant anymore and should go back to the mountains to retire. He didn't want to be involved in the war between Qin and Hua because of hatred. After taking care of Zhang Manlin, Qin Chu returned to the infirmary. Pudding's neck was already bandaged. Daddy, Pudding hugged Qin Chu's neck. You were scared just now, right? I'm sorry, Daddy came back late. Qin Chu gently patted Pudding's back and comforted his daughter. No, Daddy is very strong. By the way, where's that bad woman? She's dead. She won't appear again, Qin Chu replied. Okay, then Daddy, let's go and save Mommy. Okay, leave it to Daddy. Pudding, you and your sister go with Uncle Sue to Great-Grandpa's house first. Daddy, we're not leaving. We want to go with you to save Mommy. Little Bean pouted. With you here, Daddy will be more easily distracted. Qin Chu patiently explained to his daughter. Pudding, Little Bean, come with me. When everything is over, come back. I believe that your daddy will bring your mommy back safely. Suyu also tried to persuade the twins. In the end, the two children nodded and got into the car reluctantly and took care of the twins, while Suyu stayed behind to talk to Qin Chu alone. Do you know where Huamin is now? Suyu asked Qin Chu. I don't know. I think she might still be in the Hua family's villa. Isn't the most dangerous place the safest place? Let's go there and look. Maybe the Hua family's villa has a secret passage or something. So you guessed. Leave it to me. Just take good care of my daughters. At a time like this, there's strength in numbers. The kids will be fine at my house. My grandpa's security system is so strong that even 10 Huasiqians wouldn't be able to break through it, let alone Huasiqian. Plus, now that he has Huasiqian, he won't be so bored as to come back and get the kids. So, I'll help you look for her. Qin Chu didn't say anything. It was obvious that Huamin's sudden disappearance was a big blow to Qin Chu. He had never expected that Huasiqian would swap Huamian out in the middle of the day. Huamian had mysteriously disappeared without a trace. Plus, he didn't receive any news from Achi. Chapter 29:32. Bro, say something. Seeing Qin Chu's silence, Suyu felt bad. He suddenly realized how important Huamin was to Qin Chu. Damn it, Huasiqian is a bastard. If I catch him this time, I'll kill him for sure. Even if I have to go to jail for 20 years, it'll be worth it. He's such a scourge. Suyu cursed. He wanted to strangle Huasiqian. But Qin Chu still didn't say a word. Qin Chu. Suyu was about to say something. Qin Chu looked up at him and said slowly, Suyu, take care of my daughter. What are you doing? Are you trying to kill him? Do you know where he is? I said I'd go to the whole mansion with you. Why didn't you go? Suyu started nagging. Qin Chu, on the other hand, was even more taciturn than usual in the face of such an important event. Hey, Qin Chu, where are you going? Seeing Qin Chu leave, Suyu was even more anxious. I'll find Mian. With that, Qin Chu turned around and left South Hill Manor. Tang Chuan had also rushed over after receiving the news. He drove a flashy new car, an orange Lamborghini. Ning Ning, what's going on? Tang Chuan was confused. My sister-in-law is missing. My brother is worried sick. Qi Ning answered with tears in her eyes. Huh? Sister-in-law is missing? How is that possible? She's still alive. How can she disappear at home? Tang Chuan knew that the Qin family had been on high alert recently. How could Huamin disappear in broad daylight? I don't know what Huasiqian did. When I went upstairs, I saw that she wasn't in the room. Only Zhang Manlin was there. Zhang Manlin? What the hell is going on? Tang Chuan was even more confused. Qin Ning cried like a pear blossom in the rain. After returning to China, so many things had happened. Sometimes, Qin Ning felt helpless. She wanted to share her brother's burden, but she couldn't help at all. Ning Ning, be a good girl. Don't cry. We can talk about it slowly, okay? Tang Chuan saw that Qin Ning's eyes were red from crying. He comforted her and put his arm around her shoulders. Qin Ning, on the other hand, sobbed intermittently as she recounted what had happened. Motherfucker, Huasiqian is so fucking awesome. It's broad daylight, and he's trying to switch us out. Tang Chuan was furious when he heard what Huasiqian said. What I'm worried about is where my sister-in-law went. Qin Ning sobbed. Where are the twins? Tang Chuan asked. They were taken away by Suyu. My brother told me that he might fight Huasiqian to the death. Come to my house first. It's probably not safe here. I'll get someone to start looking for my sister-in-law. We'll definitely find her. She won't go far. Even if she leaves by plane, it's not easy to get through the airport security. My dad and the person in charge of the airport are good friends, so don't worry about it. Tang Chuan rarely bragged to Qin Ning about his abilities. This was the first time he did it, so he didn't want Qin Ning to worry. But it was true that the Tang family was very powerful in this city. Qin Ning's mood improved a lot after hearing this. She nodded and got into Tang Chuan's car, leaving with him. Qin Shu also arranged for the two elders of the Qin family and Hua Min's mother to live in another place with special protection. In Su Yu's car, the twins didn't say a word. It was like heaven compared to their usual lively selves. Hey, you two say something. I'm really worried. Su Yu felt bad for the twins. Seeing them in low spirits made him feel bad too. Chapter 29:33. Handsome Su, do you think my mommy will die? Little Bean looked up at Su Yu with tears on her face. No, don't worry. Your mommy will be fine. Mommy won't die because Huasi Qian likes my mommy and won't hurt her. Pudding analyzed calmly. Yes, Pudding is right. You two don't have to worry. Oh. Su Yu comforted the twins. Then, Pudding said, but the big bad guy will take my mommy away and we won't be able to find her for the rest of our lives. Then, Pudding lowered her head and began to cry. Hearing this, Little Bean also burst into tears. She cried and said, my sister is right. The big bad guy has been thinking about my mommy for a long time. This time, he will take my mommy to a place very, very far away where we won't be able to find her. Last time, when we were kidnapped, the big bad guy told my mommy that he would take her to some island and be with her forever. Daddy is so pitiful to lose my mommy. What if we can't see her again? We don't even know if she's pregnant with a little brother or sister. After Little Bean's emotional speech, Su Yu almost burst into tears, and also had tears in his eyes as he drove. President Su, will President Ho really not come back this time? And asked, Pooh, shut your mouth. No, our Dr. Hua is so smart and smart. He's more than capable of dealing with Hua Xiqian. You have to believe in her. Su Yu comforted the twins. Then he took out the snacks and candies he bought for the kids from the bag beside him. Little Bean, come and have an egg tart. I can't eat, Little Bean said pitifully. Don't eat so much. We have to maintain our strength to find a way to save your mommy. I still can't eat. I'm not in the mood. It was rare for Little Bean to not be tempted by food. For the first time, the two kids were not interested in anything. No matter how Su Yu comforted them, they refused to speak. At the Su mansion, when Lady Su saw the two children, she enthusiastically took them upstairs to change their clothes and prepare for dinner. Don't tell Lord Su and Grandma Su about this, in case they worry, okay? Su Yu whispered to the twins. The two kids nodded. Mom, you guys go ahead and eat first. The child might stay at our house for the next few days. Where's Mion and her husband? Lady Su was curious. They went on a business trip to America. There's no one to take care of the child. Oh, good. It just so happens that I miss these two girls. I'll stay for a while longer. Lady Su liked Little Bean and Pudding very much. When she heard that she was going to stay here for a few days, she couldn't suppress the excitement on her face. Little Bean, Pudding, what do you want to eat? Tell Grandma Su. We have everything at home. If we don't have it, we'll find a way to get it for you. It's okay, Grandma Su. I'll just eat something. Pudding answered reluctantly. Mom, I'm going out to do something. You guys go ahead and eat. Don't wait for me. After sending the children off, Su Yu couldn't sit still anymore. He turned around and went to find Qin Shu within. He wanted to join the rescue operation for Hua Min. Tang Chuan, Wei Liao, and Gao Ran also came to meet them in GK's president's office. The 5 men sat together. Chu, what should we do now? I installed a tracker on Mion. I should know where she is, Qin Shu said slowly. Holy shit, then hurry up and find her location so that we can save her. Su Yu stood up anxiously. However, the expression on Qin Shu's face gradually became complicated. Chu, is there something you can't say? Gao Ran saw that something was wrong with Qin Shu and asked. Chapter 29:34. After a moment of silence, Chin Chu said slowly, I'm afraid. I'm afraid. Afraid of what? Gao Ran frowned slightly. He didn't know what could make Chin Chu so afraid. I'm afraid. Huasiqian is so smart. He'll find the tracker on Mion's body and throw it away. Then, I won't be able to find Mion anymore. Chin Chu's eyes dimmed as soon as he finished speaking. Yes, he was afraid. He was afraid that the last clue would be lost. After Chin Chu said this, the men fell silent again. Does Huamin know where the tracker is? Wei Liao asked. Before Chin Chu could speak, Tang Chuan said, if it's in her phone, she's dead meat. Huasiqian would never give her a phone. Don't think that everyone is as smart as you, okay? So you looked at Tang Chuan speechlessly. Obviously, he didn't agree with him. With Chin Chu's intelligence, there was no way he would put the tracker on her phone. If her phone was gone, then everything would be gone. It's in Mion's necklace, Chin Chu said. Huamin has so many necklaces. Which one are you talking about? Gao Ran was confused. The one she bought a while ago. It's a Bulgari diamond necklace, Chin Chu said. Then it's easy. Huasiqian wouldn't notice something that's always on her, right? Chu, let's not waste time. Let's check it out, Gao Ran suggested. Suyi nodded. Yeah, let's check it out. We can't be afraid of losing the clue. With a heavy heart, Chin Chu turned on his phone and connected to the tracker's app. The men held their breaths, waiting for this moment. They were all worried for Huamin. South of Sea City on the rugged and steep mountain road, a black Mercedes-Benz commercial vehicle sped past. Huamian was sleeping in the back seat. Her eyelashes were slightly curled, and her lips were a natural cherry blossom pink, making anyone who saw her want to kiss her. Boss, the things you asked for are here. The driver turned around and said. Stop ahead, Huasiqian instructed. Then, the car slowly stopped at the edge of the steep cliff. A young man got out of a black Toyota Camry that came from the opposite direction. Boss, where is it? Huasiqian stretched out his hand. Here. The man handed over a small box. Boss, what about Aching? The man asked. Where is he now? Huasiqian asked. He's on his way back. Get rid of him. Huasiqian ordered without hesitation. All right. Then, Huasiqian took the box and got into the car. Huasiqian took the box and sat down beside Huamin. Then, he took out a small detector and scanned Huamin's entire body. When it passed by Huamin's neck, the detector beeped loudly. Huasiqian narrowed his eyes and carefully examined Huamin's neck. There was a beautiful diamond necklace there. A custom-made Bulgari necklace. Huh. Chin Chu sure knows how to come up with ideas. I bet you didn't even know about it, right? Then, Huasiqian slowly reached out his hand and broke the necklace. Then, he opened the car window and threw the necklace into the mountain stream beside the mountain road. At this moment, Huamin didn't know. She was still asleep. Call them and ask when my little sister will wake up, Huasiqian said in a low voice. Chapter 29:35. 5 minutes later, Huasiqian's subordinate hung up and replied carefully. Boss, they said, the slowest is 3 hours and the fastest is 1 hour. There won't be any side effects, right? Huasiqian asked worriedly. No, they said. Miss Hua is just sleeping like usual. Okay. Huasiqian's lips curled into an imperceptible smile. Boss, speak. Zhang Manlin is dead. Okay. Huasiqian didn't care about that pawn's life at all. Even if she suddenly decided to do one last thing for Huasiqian, Huasiqian didn't sympathize with her at all. Even if Chin Chu didn't kill her, he wouldn't let her live. Huasiqian wouldn't let go of anyone who tried to harm Huamin. Zhang Manlin was shot to death by Chin Chu. Chin Chu is merciful. If someone like her was in my hands, I'd probably cut off her flesh piece by piece and let her experience the most painful pain in the world before she dies. Huasiqian chuckled. Boss, are we still going with the original plan? Yes. Then, Guiyanyan. Huasiqian's subordinate hesitated. Let's do it in half an hour. I like to clean up the mess before I leave. Okay. Then, Huasiqian leaned over and looked at Huamin gently. In a few more hours, we'll be together forever. Mion, are you happy? Hua Xiqian whispered to Hua Min. The city bureau's sanatorium, due to Hua Yinyan's special identity and case, as well as Hua Xiqian's previous attempts to frame her. The leaders of the city and even the provincial government were all paying attention to this matter. Therefore, she was not sent directly to a mental hospital like the others. Instead, she was locked up in a sanatorium directly under the city bureau. Shen Mingxi walked in with Tian Tian. He had been taking care of the child. After all, the child was still young. No matter how close he was to him, it was inevitable that he would look for his mother. Therefore, Shen Mingxi called Gao Ran and brought the child to visit Hua Yinyan. President Shen, she's inside. You can go in, but... The nurse said hesitantly. But what? Her emotions aren't very stable. You'd better stay away from her. You're also not allowed to remove the bandages on her hands and feet. This is what the doctor said because she has already bitten 3 people before. All right, I got it. Shen Mingxi walked in gloomily. Just as he reached the door, he seemed to hear some noise coming from inside. Listening carefully, Zhang Xian felt that something was amiss. Yin Yin. Shen Mingxi called her name. Since there was no response, he ignored the nurse's warning and kicked the door open. Then he saw an extremely thrilling scene. It was a man wearing a black baseball cap and a black mask. He was holding a hemp rope tightly around Hua Yinyan's neck. Yin was strangled so tightly that her eyes rolled back in her head. Her mouth was wide open, but no sound came out. She could only make strange gasping sounds. Mommy! Tian Tian was scared out of her wits and began to cry. Stop it! Shen Mingxi rushed over, and the man immediately jumped out of the window to escape. Judging from his figure and technique, he must be a professional. After the man let go of Hua Yinyan, Yinyan fell to the ground, and Shen Mingxi picked up Hua Yinyan. His face was pale with fright. Mommy, don't die. Tian Tian ran over and knelt on Hua Yinyan, crying miserably. Chapter 29:36. Yinyan was resuscitated for an hour before she gradually regained her breath. However, she was still delirious. Until now, no one knew what medicine Hua Xiqian had given Hua Yinyan. Many military doctors from the public security department came, but none of them could cure her. Hua Min was the only one who could cure her, but he was nowhere to be found. Shen Mingxi had mixed feelings as he looked at Hua Yinyan lying on the hospital bed. At this point, he no longer had feelings for Hua Yinyan like he did in the past. It was ridiculous to say that he loved her. No matter how great and deep their love was, after experiencing betrayal and lies again and again, it was only fragmented in the end. Now, he only saw Hua Yinyan as a former friend and Tiantian's mother. That was why he felt a little pity for her. Did anything strange happen recently? Shen Mingxi asked. Nothing strange. Things just happened. The young nurse recalled carefully. Then, did she see anyone recently? Or did anyone come to see her? Shen Mingxi asked. Nothing. Okay, I got it. Shen Mingxi stayed with Yin Yin in the ward with Tian Tian for a while. He only left when he saw that she was sleeping soundly. Uncle Shen, is my mommy okay? Tian Tian asked in the car on the way back. She's fine. Then, Uncle Shen, can we come to see her often? Yes. Uncle Shen, then what should I do in the future? Tiantian's eyes dimmed as she said this. She didn't understand the grudges between adults, but her mommy couldn't even protect herself in this state. What would happen to her in the future? Who would take care of her? Her biological father was missing. She didn't even have a guardian. The child's words deeply touched Shen Mingxi's heart. He raised his hand and gently stroked Tiantian's head. From now on, you can stay with Uncle Shen, okay? Can I? The little girl bit her lip as if she didn't quite believe him. Of course, as long as you're willing, Shen Mingxi added. I'm willing. Tian Tian had always had deep feelings for Shen Mingxi. He wasn't her biological father, but she was closer to him than her biological father. Therefore, after hearing that Uncle Shen was taking care of her, the child was very happy. CEO Office of Shen Group Shen Mingxi took Tian Tian to the company for a meeting. Take care of her and order some food for her. I'll take her home after the meeting, Shen Mingxi said to his secretary. Shun Mingxi was about to head to the conference room when he bumped into his mother. Son, wait. Mom, why are you here? Son, this child can't be kept. Mother Shun's attitude was firm. Mom, what time is it now? Do you still have feelings for Hui Yin? Mrs. Shun looked at her son angrily. Mom, I really didn't. Hui Yin and I broke off all ties a long time ago. Now that she's mentally unstable, she can't take care of the child. I can't watch the child wander the streets, Shen Mingxi explained. If that's the case, then it's easy. If you can't bear to see her like this, you can send her to the orphanage. Or we can find a good family for her to be adopted. No, Shen Mingxi rejected immediately. Sending her to the orphanage was impossible. He couldn't bear to do that. After all, he couldn't bear to let her be adopted. Son, don't be foolish. You're still single. You can remarry and have another child. This isn't your child anyway. Why do you have to keep raising her? You're making trouble for yourself. Don't you want to reconcile with him? Do you think she'll accept Hui Yin's daughter? Mother Shun questioned sternly. Chapter 29:37. Mom, don't talk about it. I haven't thought about the future yet, but in this situation, I can't leave the child alone. Shen Mingxi and his mother confronted each other. Tian seemed to know it was because of her, so she hid behind Shen Mingxi and tightly tugged at the corner of his shirt. Uncle Shun, don't leave me. Her voice was very small and filled with fear. Yes, she was afraid of being abandoned. She was a child who had been deprived of love since she was young. Perhaps she was a child who shouldn't have been born in this world. She didn't understand. Little Bean and Pudding were little girls like her. Why did the twins have everything? They had parents who loved them, grandparents, uncles, aunts, and aunts. But she, even her own mother, would yell at her when she was crazy. The only person who had ever given her warmth was Uncle Shun. But people kept telling her that Uncle Shun wasn't her father and that they weren't related by blood. No, I won't leave you. With that, Shen Mingxi got up with the child in his arms and walked into the meeting room. He was afraid that his mother would send the child away if he wasn't there. You, Mrs. Shun was exasperated. Madam, don't be angry. Young master is soft-hearted now. Maybe he can't bear to leave the child. After things settle down, the child will find a good place to go. The person beside her comforted Mrs. Shun. On the other side, on the way back to the city, Aching and a few men escorted Huasiqian's so-called guy carefully. Because there were too many people, it wasn't convenient for him to call Qin Shu and inform him. Therefore, Aching didn't know everything that happened in Sea City, until in the suburbs 50 miles away from the city, 3 jeeps came from the opposite side, and more than 20 big men got out of the cars. Big Brother Cheng. The man got out of the car and greeted him. Weizi, why are you here? Aching was slightly surprised. Weizi was one of Huasiqian's men, but he rarely showed up. Because Weizi usually carried out some extremely secretive missions, he was rarely in the city. Therefore, when he saw Weizi, Acheng had a bad feeling. Oh, boss asked me to pick you up. It's okay. We'll be there in about an hour. Acheng smiled. Brother Cheng, boss said. Weizi paused. What did boss say? Acheng looked at Weizi in confusion. Boss told me to send you on your way. After saying that, Weizi and the others all took out their guns. What are you guys doing? Acheng was dumbfounded. Big Brother Cheng, you shouldn't have betrayed boss. You know how he is. Weizi looked at Acheng with pity. Acheng immediately understood that Huasiqian had found out about his betrayal. Brothers, don't be afraid. I only want Acheng's life today. It has nothing to do with you. Weizi said to the subordinates behind Acheng. Brother Cheng, what's going on? The other brothers were also confused. I'm sorry, brothers. Don't worry about me. I asked for it. Acheng gritted his teeth. Then, in a flash, he opened the escort box. Originally, he wanted to take out the weapon and fight out with it. However, when he opened it, he was dumbfounded. Inside were all stones. Do you think boss will still let you escort those things when he knows you're a traitor? Weizi laughed mockingly. Acheng's heart turned cold. Chapter 29:38. Unarmed and with Weizi's men, Ah Chung thought he was dead meat. Boss said to clean up the mess. So, I'm sorry. Weizi pointed the gun at Ah Chung's heart. Just as he was about to shoot, he heard a gunshot. His men fell to the ground behind him. When Weizi turned around, Ah Chung pounced on one of Weizi's men. Then he snatched the gun. In the chaos, there was a gunfight. Seeing that Ah Chung had reinforcements, Weizi didn't want to fight anymore. He hurriedly fired a few shots and fled. Ah Chung's arm was scratched by a bullet in the gunfight, and it kept bleeding. You're Mr. Chin's man, right? Ah Chung looked at the reinforcements. Yeah, President Chin asked us to bring you back safely. Where's my goddaughter? Ah Chung asked anxiously. Big brother Ah Chung, don't worry. President Chin has taken your daughter to a safe place. Okay. Ah Chung gritted his teeth and endured the pain. Then he nodded and followed those people. GK headquarters. Chin Chu used a tracker from before and turned on the location. He saw that Huamin was in the mountains south of the city. It's this location. Gao Ran, get someone to go check it out immediately. Okay. After Gao Ran got the location, he immediately contacted his subordinates. In order to save time, he sent out a helicopter to track him. The men were still waiting anxiously in the office. Brother-in-law, don't worry. I think sister-in-law will be fine. She's so smart, she won't be taken advantage of anywhere. Tang Chuan comforted him. Chin Chu lowered his head and didn't say anything. He held a teacup in his hand and seemed to be thinking about something. I also think Mian will be fine. This time, we caught Huasiqian. In my opinion, we don't need to go through any legal procedures. That kind of psychopath only knows how to take advantage of the loopholes in the law. Does he think he can do whatever he wants just because he's mentally ill and schizophrenic? Suyu hated Huasiqian so much that his teeth itched. Yeah, I think we can bury that psychopath alive this time, Wei Liao said. Time ticked by. 15 minutes later, Gao Ran's phone rang. Everyone looked at him expectantly. They wanted to hear that Huamin had been found. Unexpectedly, after Gao Ran finished the call, his expression became more complicated. How is it? Have you found him? Suyu's face was filled with anticipation. Gao Ran shook his head. Then he looked at Chin Chu guiltily and said, Huasiqian, the tracker, is there, but the person is not there. I think Huasiqian found something on Huamin's body and threw it away. When our people went there, they found a steep mountain stream. The forest was so dense that no one could step on it. After scanning it with a scanner, we found no signs of human activity. Basically, we can conclude that the tracker was thrown down by someone. Fuck. Tang Chuan cursed unhappily. Chin Chu seemed to have expected this result. So when he heard this, he was exceptionally quiet and didn't say anything. So he was clearly agitated. He kicked over the table in front of him. The teacup shattered all over the floor. Fuck, we must cut that psychopath into pieces this time. Suyu cursed angrily. Now's not the time to be angry. We need to think about what to do next. Wei Liao calmly analyzed. Gao Ran walked over and said to Chin Chu, although we didn't find him, it's not all bad news. We found something there that proves that they passed by there. There are very few roads in the southern mountain range. As long as we follow the path, we will find something. Gao Ran comforted Chin Chu. Just then, Chin Chu's phone rang. He looked at it and slowly picked it up. Chapter 2939. Okay, I got it. Bring him in. After hanging up, Suyu immediately asked, do you have any leads? Huasiqian's man and Ah Ching is my spy. Let's see if we can get any valuable information. Chin Chu didn't seem to have much confidence. This time, Huasiqian took someone from his house in broad daylight, right under his nose. And Zhang Manlin was replaced. This was a huge blow to Chin Chu. So, compared to others, no one could understand Chin Chu's feelings at this moment. Ah Chung's arm was wrapped in white gauze as he was brought in. President Chin. He seemed very apologetic. Are you okay? Chin Chu glanced at Ah Chung's arm. I'm fine. It's just a minor injury. The child has been transferred to a safe place. Someone is watching over her. Don't worry. I know. Thank you, President Chin. I really didn't know Huasiqian already knew my identity. That's why I didn't inform you in time. I heard. Miss Hua, Ching was truly apologetic. It's okay. It's not your fault. He arranged for me to pick up the goods at the last minute. I thought he was going to do it after he got the goods. I didn't expect it to be a trap. A trap to distract me and distract you. This is very much like Huasiqian style. I was careless, Qin Shu said faintly. Wei sent people to stop me. It was Huasiqian's idea. It seems he wanted to kill me. Fortunately, your people arrived in time. Ching looked at Qin Shu gratefully. Ching, think about it. My wife is in Huasiqian's hands. Where'd he take her? Qin Shu placed his last hope on Huasiqian's former confidant, Ching. Could it be Glendale Island? What island? Gao Ran didn't hear clearly, so he asked again. Actually, I don't know where the island is either. I only know that. Boss, no. Huasiqian bought a small island many years ago. He said that one day, he would move there and live in seclusion. All these years, he has hired people to take care of the island. He even goes there once every 2 years. I'm guessing that's where he plans to take Miss Hua to. Chang said, you don't even know where the island is, and you're telling us a name that we've never even heard of. How are we supposed to find it? Tang Chuan complained. So he took out his electronic device and opened the HD satellite map. He keyed in the island that Ching had just mentioned, but he found nothing in either Chinese or English. Are you sure that's the name? No. So you said, I don't know if this is the name of the island or if Huasiqian came up with it himself, so I don't dare to jump to conclusions. Ching said, fuck, isn't that a waste of time? Tang Chuan slammed his phone on the coffee table, his face full of anger. You can't blame him. There are a lot of places and islands in the world that don't have names. They aren't even marked on the map. It's not surprising that Huasiqian would do something weird. I'm just curious. No matter which island it is, he has to leave first. The entire city is sealed off. Planes, ships, trains, and cars can't leave. How is Huasiqian going to leave with Huamin? Wei Liao asked cleverly. Oh, right, I know a place that they might go to. Cheng suddenly thought of something and said excitedly. Chapter 2940. Where? So he was extremely anxious. He wanted nothing more than to dig out all the information he needed from Cheng's mouth. It's a cliff near Yuowang Mountain. A cliff? Gao Ran frowned slightly. That doesn't make sense. Shouldn't Huasiqian be taking sister-in-law out of the country at this time? Why would he go to a cliff? Tang Chuan also felt that something was wrong. However, Qin Shu was very concerned about this piece of information. Gao Ran, go check right now. If we go to Yuowang Mountain, will we pass by the mountain stream where the tracker fell? Qin Shu asked. Gao Ran nodded. He picked up the GPS map and searched. He immediately nodded excitedly at Qin Shu. It's true. This road goes all the way south and passes through 15 or 16 tunnels. Then, we'll arrive at Yuowang Mountain after more than 30 miles of winding mountain roads. However, because of the steep terrain, no one has developed the mountain in recent years. It's dangerous everywhere. Normal people rarely go there. Even mountain people don't go there easily. There are many wild animals there. Why would Huasiqian, that pervert, go there? Gao Ran asked a series of questions. Then, everyone looked at Ching. Ching looked at Qin Shu innocently. President Qin, I'm telling the truth. I know, Qin Shu replied calmly. Then why would Huasiqian go to Yuowang Mountain? Picking mushrooms? Digging for wild vegetables? Tang Chuan obviously didn't believe him. His tone was full of sarcasm. I don't know, but he does go there. He doesn't bring anyone with him every time. He drives a jeep by himself. He goes there in the morning and comes back at night. Someone asked him before, and he only said that he would be bored if he stayed in the city for too long. He went out to get some fresh air, see the scenery, and relieve stress. But I feel that with my understanding of Boss, it's not as simple as just seeing the scenery. Chang explained seriously to everyone. That's possible. After all, Huasiqian likes to do things unexpectedly. So, Cheng is probably right, Wei Liao analyzed rationally. Gao Ran, set the coordinates of Yuowang Mountain. We're leaving now. Huh? We're really going? Won't we miss nothing? Tang Chuan felt that it was impossible for them to go there. We'll go even if we don't get anything. This time, Suyu miraculously took Qin Shu's side. Okay, let's go. Then, Qin Shu immediately asked the company to prepare 5 jeeps. The 5 men each took one and headed towards Yuewang Mountain. In order to save time, they used a helicopter to send the 5 of them there. The jeeps were also transported by air. It was very impressive. Gao Ran contacted the Public Security Bureau near Yuewang Mountain. They also sent a lot of police cars and people to follow behind Qin Shu and the others. The road up the mountain was very difficult. Even the best car couldn't go fast. Qin Shu and the others went up the mountain. Gao Ran used a map to locate Hua Xiqian's location. At this moment, Huamin slowly woke up in Hua Xiqian's car. Little sister Mian, you're finally awake. Hua Xiqian looked at Huamin gently. The moment she saw Hua Xiqian, Huamin's eyes became sharp. Why are you here? Wrong. You should be asking, why are you in my car? Hua Xiqian chuckled. Huamin finally realized that she was in a black Mercedes-Benz in the middle of nowhere. Huamin remembered that she was very sleepy and was sleeping at home. She didn't remember anything else. She tried to remember, but she couldn't remember how Hua Xiqian kidnapped her. Chapter 2941. Do you have any recollection of it? Hua Xiqian asked. I remember. I was sleeping at home, and you came to my house to kidnap me. Where's my daughter? Where's my husband? What did you do to them? Huamin's eyes widened as he glared at Hua Xiqian. Don't worry. I'm not interested in your children or your husband. They're fine. I only took you away. What do you want? Huamin frowned as he slowly got up, feeling weak all over. Don't move, my little sister. You haven't fully recovered yet. What did you do to me? Huamin was shocked. He wondered if Hua Xiqian had drugged him. He was pregnant with his second child, and any drug would affect the baby. Therefore, Huamin subconsciously rubbed his belly. Don't be afraid, I wouldn't do anything to you. I just found a wizard in Thailand and put a sleeping spell on you. You only slept for 3 to 5 hours. How was it? Did you sleep well? Did you have any dreams? You're a pervert. Huamin stared at Hua Xiqian with mixed feelings. Hua Xiqian's thoughts weren't something that ordinary people could understand if he was willing to do something like finding a wizard. Okay, don't be in such a hurry to scold me. Come, let me show you something. After speaking, Hua Xiqian reached out his hand and helped Huamin up. Huamin wanted to push him away, but he didn't have the strength to do so. After Huamin got out of the car, he looked around, and his eyes darkened. It's beautiful here, isn't it? Hua Xiqian asked softly. Huamin shook off Hua Xiqian's hand with all his might. He hated having skin contact with him. Huamin looked at where he was. He was at the top of a very high mountain. It felt like this place was a cliff, and below it was the sea, because the sound of the sea could be heard clearly. It was nighttime. Logically speaking, it should be very dark. However, Hua Xiqian had ordered people to make many colored lights and hang them on the Christmas tree. Then, at the edge of the cliff, there was an arch made of white gauze, covered with green grass and white flowers. How did it look like a dark mountaintop? It was more like a lawn wedding. Nobody knew how long such a huge project would take, or how many people would be needed to complete it. Hua Xiqian didn't answer Huamin's question. She had to admit that this place was very, very beautiful. But so what? In the face of someone she hated, no matter how beautiful the scenery was, she was not in the mood to appreciate it. Under the arched door, there was a rectangular dining table with a white tablecloth on it. There were chairs at both ends, and in the middle were 2 goblets and a bottle of red wine. Are you hungry after sleeping for so long? Let's have something to eat. Hua Xiqian pointed at the dining table and invited Huamin with a smile. I'm not eating. I didn't poison it, Hua Xiqian said half-jokingly. I'm not in a mood to eat with someone I hate. Huamin gritted her teeth. She didn't give Hua Xiqian any face. But if you don't eat, you can't run away just standing here. Why don't you sit down and enjoy the scenery at the top of the mountain? Hua Xiqian finished speaking and looked into the distance. What do you want in order to let me go? Tell me what you want. Huamin thought that Hua Xiqian was holding her hostage because he wanted something to threaten Qin Shu. But this time, it seemed that she was wrong. Hua Xiqian stood in front of the dining table and slowly picked up the goblet. Looking at the sparkling red wine inside, he said, "You asked me what I want. Fine, I'll tell you now. I only want Huamin." Chapter 2942. Upon hearing this, Huamin immediately understood what Hua Xiqian meant. It seemed like he was serious this time. "If you drag me up here, my husband won't let you off the hook. Qin Chu, I've never been afraid of him." Hua Xiqian smiled playfully. "Hua Xiqian, do you think it's fun to force people like this? Haven't you heard that a forced melon won't be sweet? I don't care if it's sweet or not. As long as it's sweet, I'll be happy," Hua Xiqian replied proudly. Huamin, upon hearing this answer, Huamian's heart raced with 10,000 alpacas. "Huh, I'm just kidding, you actually believe me. But you're so cute when you're angry." Hua Xiqian didn't like to see Huamin's usually calm face. He liked to see Huamin's expression, even if it was anger or anger. This way, he could make his presence known and not be easily ignored by Huamin. "Come on, Mian. Let's change into a set of clothes first." After speaking, Hua Xiqian turned around and walked into the trunk of the car. He took out a white wedding dress and placed it on the back seat. "Go change into it." "No way." Huamin was stubborn. "Then I'll have to change for you myself. Don't say I took advantage of you." Hua Xiqian smiled as he walked closer to her. "Don't come over." Huamin was so scared that she retreated. She was in an awkward situation right now. When Hua Xiqian brought her out, she was wearing a nightgown. Although it wasn't very revealing, it was still very cold in a nightgown in the middle of the night. "So, do you want to change yourself? Or do you want me to help you?" Hua Xiqian pressed on. "Hua Xiqian, don't touch me. If you come any closer, I'll jump down." Huamin pointed at the cliff behind him. He couldn't see how high it was, but if he jumped down, it would be impossible for him to survive. After all, it was the sea below, and a wave would roll dozens of meters away. "You won't." Hua Xiqian smiled. "I will. Don't provoke me. I'm not afraid of death." Huamin was furious. "I know you're not afraid of death, but you're afraid that you won't be able to see your husband and daughter. Think about your cute twins. They call you mommy again and again. How could you let them lose their mother?" Hua Xiqian was indeed an expert in psychological warfare. Huamin's weakness was her husband and children. Huamin's heart softened at the thought of the twins calling her mommy so sweetly. "So, Mian, don't fight with me. I promise I won't hurt you." "You've already hurt me, asshole." Huamin cursed at Hua Xiqian with tears in his eyes. "No, trust me. I'm the one who can't bear to hurt you the most in the world. Plus, if anyone hurts you, they'll all die. Song Yishur, Imo Shui Zhang Manlin, and Hua Yinyan," Hua Xiqian said with utmost seriousness. "You're wrong. The pain they've caused me is far less than 1/10 of the pain you've caused me. Hua Xiqian, don't you understand? You're the one who hurt me the most." All this time, you've done everything you can to ruin my relationship with Qin Chu. You broke up our family and caused me to be separated from him for 4 years when I was pregnant. It's all because of you. So, as the one who hurt me the most, shouldn't you explode on the spot? Huamian asked viciously. Upon hearing this, Hua Xiqian was slightly stunned. He didn't expect Huamin to have such thoughts. Chapter 2943. Mian, so that's how you think of me. Hua Xiqian's eyes were a little dazed and even a little helpless. What else did you think? Huamin stared at him viciously. I thought that even if you don't like me, you'd at least think that we're connected. After all, we've known each other for so many years. Are you proud that we've known each other for so many years? I've known my high school classmates for so many years, including Wei Dong and the others. Huamin looked nonchalant. I thought that you'd see my true feelings after all these years. Hua Xiqian looked like a wrong child. Don't talk to me about your true feelings. True feelings are only valuable when they're cherished by others. If you force yourself on others, that's not true feelings. That's just selfishness. I see. Hua Xiqian looked slightly disappointed. So, Hua Xiqian, let me go and let yourself go. We're both tired after all these years. You've been pestering me for so long. You must be tired too. I've been under a lot of pressure because of you. Let's not interfere with each other anymore, okay? Mion, I'll take you away. No, if you take me away, it'll only be the beginning of the tragedy. Huamin shook her head. She would never go with Huasiqian. Mion, you don't understand. If I don't take you away, you're dead. I know. You want to say that Ian is looking for me, right? Huamin knew that Ian was looking for her ever since he found out about her true identity. You don't understand Ian's methods. Do you think I'm cruel enough? He's 10,000 times crueler than me. Lu Yin is so strong, but Ian still hunted her down for years. Huasiqian tried to explain to Huamin how terrifying Ian was. If I go with you because I'm scared, what about my husband and daughters? If you go, they'll be safe. If you stay, they'll be in danger. They'll be dragged down by you. Are you trying to brainwash me? Should I thank you for taking me away? You've indirectly saved me. Huamin's thoughts were exceptionally clear. Huasiqian had to admit that he was always able to grasp the key points at the first moment. I just don't want you to get hurt. Let's go to a place where we'll be alone and live a peaceful life. Huasiqian, I won't be able to live in peace if I'm with you. My love is only for my husband and children. Huasiqian, what you're doing is pushing yourself into a dead end. My husband won't give up looking for me. When that happens, neither of us will benefit. Why do you have to listen to me? It's too late to turn back now. Huamin had always felt that he wanted to leave a way out for himself and the other party. Therefore, he wanted to persuade Huasiqian to stop before the tragedy happened. Turn back? We can't turn back. Many years ago, when I first saw you at the Hua family, I knew that there was no turning back. Mion, do you believe me? If I had another chance to choose again, I would still do the same. Even if you think I hurt you and you hate me to death, I would still do it, Huasiqian said stubbornly. Why do you have to do this? It's getting late. Mion, you should change into a beautiful wedding dress. Huasiqian said as he pointed at the wedding dress in the car. No, I won't wear it. She wouldn't change into a normal dress, let alone a wedding dress. Don't force me. You know I can't bear to do that to you. Huasiqian's eyes darkened. Chapter 2944. Huasiqian's gaze made Huamin feel afraid for the first time. She knew that there was nothing she could say to change the situation. Huasiqian had completely lost his mind. If she really wanted to continue this confrontation, it would not be a wise choice. If she jumped off a cliff, she might not have the chance to see Qin Chu and the children again. What past and present life? It was all bullshit. She didn't even understand this life. After thinking about it, Huamin decided to beat him at his own game and find an opportunity to escape. At least there was hope if she was alive. Okay, I'll wear it. Don't come over. I'll change myself. Finally, Huamin gave in. Very good. I'm pleasantly surprised that you're so obedient. Huasiqian smiled slightly. Then, Huamin got into the car and locked the door. At this moment, she even considered whether she should lock the door from the inside and call Qin Chu for help. But this thought was immediately rejected by him. First of all, Huasiqian had the key to the car. Even if he didn't have the key, he could just smash the window with a rock. The glass wasn't bulletproof. Second of all, there was no cell phone or communication device in the car. It was impossible to call Qin Chu for help. If she angered Huasiqian, he would do something even more extreme. After thinking about it, Huamin decided to follow Huasiqian's request and obediently change into the so-called wedding dress. On the rugged mountain road in the south, Qin Chu's off-road vehicle sped along the steep mountain road. His heart had long been suspended in his throat. Huamin's whereabouts were more important to him than anyone else. He was sure that no one could understand his current state of mind. Now that Huamin, who was pregnant with her second child, was missing to him, it was a blow to the head. At this moment, his phone rang. He wanted to turn it off, but when he saw that the caller ID said, "Darling eldest daughter," he couldn't help but pick it up. Qin Chu put on his Bluetooth headset. She adjusted her mood and said, "Hey, Pudding, Daddy, where are you?" "Outside." "Mommy, is there any news?" "I have a clue. I'm on my way to look for it. Really? Pudding seemed very happy. Yes. Daddy, I'm so worried. I don't want to stay at Grandma Sue's house anymore. My sister and I want to go with you to find Mommy. No, it's too dangerous. But Daddy, we're really not in the mood to do anything. Little sister didn't even eat desserts. Grandma Sue bought her a lot of food, but she didn't eat a single bite. Me too. I didn't even eat dinner. I really can't eat. We're getting anxious waiting like this. Pudding, Daddy is no longer in the city. He can't pick you up. Is Handsome Sue with Daddy? Pudding asked. Yes. Okay, Handsome Sue is there too. You're all there, Pudding said quietly. Okay, I promise. I'll bring Mommy back safely, okay? Chin Chu coaxed his daughter gently. Okay, I know Daddy doesn't like to brag. He'll definitely do what he says, Pudding said. Yes, so, baby, please trust Daddy with your sister. Okay, we believe in Daddy. Okay, I'll hang up now. Daddy's still driving. Daddy, you have to be careful. Be careful. Pudding didn't forget to remind him. His daughter's heartwarming words comforted Chin Chu. After hanging up, they continued on their way. I found it. Chu, is it really Yuoang Mountain? There are signs of activity at the top of the mountain. The satellites scan the body heat. Could Homin be there? Gao Ran's excited voice came from the walkie-talkie. Chapter 2945. I think so. Chin Chu suppressed the joy in his heart and nodded in response. Holy shit, that's great. We didn't waste our time. Tang Chuan slammed his hand on the steering wheel to express his indescribable joy. Then, he connected his earpiece and called Qin Ning to tell her the news. I knew it. Ah Ching wouldn't lie. It looks like we really got something this time. Wei Liao also laughed. They all had walkie-talkies in the car. Because they weren't far from each other, everyone could hear what they were saying. After hearing the news, they were all very happy and chimed in to express their opinions. Suyu was the only one who didn't say anything. Lord Su, are you still breathing? Tang Chuan asked with a smile. Fuck you. You're the one who's dead, Suyu replied. Then say something. We should be happy that we found the person. Sister-in-law must be scared out of her wits. Tang Chuan laughed. I'm just thinking, could it be? Suyu deliberately paused. Could it be what? Say it. Lord Su, why are you being so wishy-washy? Tang Chuan thought it was strange. Chin Chu listened carefully to Su Yu's opinion. After all, Su Yu's brain wasn't just for show. I'm thinking we got the news so easily. Could it be a trap? Su Yu said. Lord Su, what do you mean? Are you saying that Hua Xiqian is afraid that the person there is a fake? Are you saying that Hua Xiqian deliberately lured us away? Wei Liao's heart sank. I'm not sure. I have a feeling that Hua Xiqian wouldn't have let us find him so easily. He shouldn't have made such a mistake, Su Yu said. Lord Su, you're overthinking. Hua Xiqian is powerful, but he's not a god. We really don't have to lower our morale and praise others. To be honest, Gao Ran wasn't happy to hear Su Yu's words. It wasn't easy for him to find some information on the map. If it was fake, then they would be wasting their efforts. I'm not lowering our morale. I just think that we should be careful. If Huamin is there, of course it's good. But what if he's not? We have to plan our next step, Su Yu said. At this moment, Chin Chu, who had been quiet all this time. Su Yu is right. Let's hurry up and go up the mountain to see what's going on. Let's end this quickly. Whether or not Huamian is at the top of the mountain, we can't continue fighting. Chin Chu and Su Yu reached a consensus, which was rare. Naturally, no one else had any objections. At the top of the mountain, after changing into the wedding dress, Huamin slowly opened the car door and walked out. At that moment, Hua Xiqian's eyes widened. To be exact, he was stunned. He had imagined Huamin wearing this wedding dress countless times, but he was still shocked when he saw it with his own eyes. You? He didn't even know what to say. Huamin was sleeping when she was kidnapped, so her face was very clear without any makeup. Although it wasn't delicate, it was more natural. With her long hair over her shoulders, she slowly walked out of the car in a pure white wedding dress. Seeing this scene, Hua Xiqian was so excited that he almost cried. One day, He would be able to see the woman he loved put on a wedding dress for him. I already did as you said, Huamin said angrily. Mian, don't you think this wedding dress looks familiar? Hua Xiqian chuckled. Huamin looked down and took a closer look. It really did look familiar. Chapter 2946. Is this the same dress Yin Ruashi wore when you married her? Huamin suddenly remembered that this wedding dress was exactly the same as the one Yin Ruashi wore. You're right, but you're also wrong. The one Yin Ruashi wore was a replica. Even the crystals and diamonds were man-made. Yours is the real deal. It cost 12 million yuan. Hua Xiqian smiled in satisfaction. Huamin was a little dumbfounded. She lowered her head and looked at the ordinary-looking wedding dress again. Perhaps it was because there were no spotlights or anything like that, so it didn't look very fancy. After hearing Hua Xiqian's words, she realized that there were indeed a lot of crystals and diamonds embedded in the hem of the dress. Hua Xiqian wouldn't lie. It seemed like this 12 million yuan wedding dress was the real deal. Mian, think carefully. Where have you seen this wedding dress before? Hua Xiqian crossed his arms and looked at the beautiful Hua Min carefully. Hua Min didn't say anything, but she was really trying to remember. Because when she and Qin Shu went to Hua Xiqian's wedding, she said that Yin Ruashi's wedding dress looked very familiar. But no matter how hard she tried, she couldn't remember. However, after Hua Xiqian reminded her today, some memories did come back to her. Huamin carefully searched for information about this wedding dress in her mind. Suddenly, she felt a light bulb flash in her head, and she remembered everything. This wedding dress, is it the one you won an award for in school? Huamin suddenly looked up and asked Hua Xiqian, You finally remembered? Hua Xiqian's smile was enigmatic. Huamin felt goosebumps all over her body. She carefully recalled that when she was in school, Hua Xiqian seemed to have won the first prize for a beautiful and gorgeous wedding dress in a school-wide design competition. At that time, it was rumored that a wedding photography studio had taken a fancy to it and wanted to buy the rights to the wedding dress. In the end, Hua Xiqian didn't sell it. At that time, there were actually many girls who had a crush on Hua Xiqian. On the surface, he was the young master of the Hua family. Even if he was adopted, he was still of noble birth. His attire was elegant, his manner of speech was refined, and his manners were elegant. After that, no one mentioned the wedding dress anymore. Huamin had only seen the original design of the wedding dress on the school's bulletin board. At that time, she was still wondering if Hua Xiqian was a pervert. Why would he design a woman's dress? Moreover, it was a wedding dress. Who would have thought that today, after so many years, she would finally have the opportunity to see the real thing with her own eyes? Moreover, it was an exorbitant price. Huamin suddenly didn't know what to say. Hua Xiqian slowly approached her with a crazy infatuation in his eyes. Back then, when I hand-drew this wedding dress, I thought that one day you would be able to wear it for me. Sure enough, no one in the world is more suitable for this wedding dress than you. Huamin was silent. Mian, do you believe it? After so many years, no woman can make my heart waver, except for you. After speaking, Hua Xiqian reached out to touch Hua Min's cheek. However, Hua Min dodged. Take your dirty hand away. Don't touch me. Hua Min frowned angrily. I almost forgot about your temper. Don't worry. Come, let's go eat. Hua Xiqian seemed to never be able to get angry at Hua Min. If other women said something wrong, he would get angry and slap them. However, no matter how much Hua Min said to provoke him, he couldn't bear to be angry at her. Hua Xiqian felt that Hua Min was the only disaster in his life. Mian, do you know how long I've been waiting for this moment? Hua Xiqian whispered into Hua Min's ear. Chapter 2947. Downtown, Sky Blessing Court. Yang Meirong was watching TV in the living room when she suddenly panicked. Mom, what's wrong? Jixin saw that his mother was uncomfortable and immediately sat up. I don't know. I'm very nervous. How can that be? Is it too hot in the room? I'll turn on the air conditioner. No. Jixin, sit down. Yes, Mom. Your sister hasn't been back recently? Yang Mei Yurong said. Isn't she too busy? She's on leave recently and is tired enough to take care of the twins at home. No, she would usually send me WeChat messages and call me even if she doesn't come for a few days, but she hasn't come at all recently. Maybe she's busy. There's still a great aunt at home. My sister has a lot of people at home. It's not like you don't know. At this moment, Jixin still didn't know that his sister had been taken away. I sent her a WeChat message an hour ago, but she didn't reply. So maybe my sister is taking a shower or cooking in the kitchen. No, this hasn't happened before. Mom, what do you want? You're so weird. It's so scary. Jixin looked at his mother, who was clutching her chest and panting as she talked about his sister. He felt that it was very strange. Jixin, call your sister. Oh, Jixin picked up his phone and dialed, however, no one picked up after a long time. No one picked up. Wait, I'll call the landline at home. Then, Jixin dialed again. This time, South Hill Manor's butler, Uncle Lee, picked up. Oh, I see. Okay, I got it. He hung up. Yang Mei Yurong quickly asked her son, how was it? What did he say? My sister and brother-in-law aren't home. They went out. Where did they go? I don't know. The butler picked up. That's not right. I didn't hear that their whole family went out. Yang Mei Yurong became more and more flustered. Don't worry. I'll call my brother-in-law and we'll know. Then, Jixin called Qin Chu. Qin Chu was climbing a steep hill and wasn't in the mood to pick up the phone. So the phone rang for a long time, but no one picked up. Now, even Jixin felt strange. This is really strange. Why isn't brother-in-law picking up the phone? Could it be that something has really happened? After Jixin said this, Yang Meirong's breathing became more and more rapid. I've been feeling uneasy tonight. I've been worried that something might have happened to your sister. Why can't I contact the whole family now? Your sister is missing, the children are missing, and even Qin Chu is missing. What's going on? Yang Mei Yurong cried as she spoke. Mom, calm down. You have to calm down. I'll think of another way. I'll call Sister Lingling and ask her. Jixin patiently called Jiang Xiaowei and Zhu Lingling. However, none of them knew that Huamin was missing. Their husbands didn't mention it either. This time, Jixin and his mother panicked. Yang Mei Yurong began to fidget and even wanted to call the police. Mom, don't be stupid. It takes time to call the police. How long will it take for them to go missing? Besides, my sister and brother-in-law are so smart. How could they go missing? Maybe the whole family really went on a trip. Jixin comforted his mother. I hope so. I hope nothing bad happens to him. Otherwise, how am I supposed to live? At the top of Yuang Mountain, Huamin was forced to sit down at the dining table by Hua Xiqian. Hua Xiqian poured a glass of red wine for Huamin. I'm not drinking. It's not poisoned. Don't worry. I'm still not drinking. Huamin hadn't spat out alcohol since she was pregnant. How about you drink red wine? Mian, you don't seem to understand the situation. Do you think you have a choice in this situation? Hua Xiqian smiled coldly. Chapter 2948. Hua Xiqian, don't push me too far. Huamin couldn't take it anymore. Hua Xiqian chuckled and didn't say anything else. Tonight, the moonlight is beautiful, isn't it? Hua Xiqian looked up and saw the moon hanging high in the sky, emitting a hazy light. Don't be sentimental with me. Whatever you say is meaningless to me. Right now, you're just a kidnapper and I'm a hostage. That's all, Huamin said rationally. TSK, that's not romantic at all. My little sister, why are you as gentle and cute as a kitten when you're with Qin Chu, but you're like a little tiger when you're with me? That's because you've always been someone I hate. You were, you are, and you'll always be. Good. It's an honor to be hated by you for the rest of your life. Hua Xiqian, do you know how perverted you are? Huamin suddenly asked. I don't think so. Then do you know about the existence of that guy named Jack? At the mention of Jack's name, Hua Xiqian's expression changed slightly. Mian, you sure know a lot. He smiled faintly. Of course, because I've seen Jack with my own eyes twice. Huamin looked at him seriously. So what? Jack only has a chance to come out when I forget to take my medicine. He can't control me at all. That idiot is crazy. Huasiqian commented on his other side. Do you think that Jack and you are two different people? That you share the same body? Of course, what else do you think? Don't you think that Jack doesn't exist? That everything is just your imagination? That's just another you. What are you talking about? That's not me. How could I be so stupid and irritable? Huasiqian obviously didn't like his other personality. If you deny your other self, you're indirectly denying yourself. Huasiqian, look at you. You're already 30 years old. What a failure you are as a person. You can't even look at yourself in the eye, Huamin mocked. Psychological tactics? Psychological tactics? No, Mian, it's useless to play this game with me. I've known you all these years. Your intelligence, your wisdom, your indifference, and your indifference are all useless to me. Huasiqian smiled. Huamin's words is, but on the inside, he's his downs. Crazy's crazy. He's ts. Huasiqian knew Huamian well enough and didn't panic just because she said a few words. Huamin suddenly felt that it wasn't going to be easy to leave Huasiqian's clutches this time. Huamian hoped that Qinshu would find her as soon as possible so that he could save her and the baby in her belly. It's windy at the top of the mountain. I'll get you a jacket, Huasiqian said as he got up and went back to the car to get jacket. Huamin, on the other hand, began to observe their surroundings to see if there were any escape routes, or maybe some weapons that could be used. Suddenly, Huamian glanced at the knife and fork that Huasiqian was going to use to eat the steak. It was made of steel and looked very sharp. Huamin carefully held in his hand and waited nervously. Then, Huasiqian took out a black woolen coat, a man's coat, and walked over. He put on Huamin's shoulders. This warm gesture didn't move Huamin. Instead, Huamin put a knife to his throat. Mian, don't be like this. It's not fun. Huasiqian was still smiling calmly, as if he wasn't nervous at all. Chapter 2949. Huasiqian, let me go right now. Huamin's eyes were filled with unprecedented seriousness and anger. Mian, don't mess around. I really don't want to hurt you. I'm threatening you right now. Can you please understand the situation? Huamin was exasperated. She had always been calm, but Huasiqian, this psycho, was driving her crazy. She never thought that one day she would wear a wedding dress designed by Huasiqian and have a candlelit dinner with him on this deserted mountaintop. What the hell? Then kill me. I don't plan on letting you go this time anyway. Huasiqian's lips curled up slightly. You don't think that I don't dare? Then do it. Huasiqian continued to smile. Huasiqian, don't force me. Huamin was about to break down. She increased the force of her hand on his neck. Huasiqian's neck began to bleed. Let me go. I don't want to kill you. No, just kill me. It's good to die in your hands. However, despite Huasiqian's words, Huamin still couldn't bring herself to do it. After all, her hands were used to save people, and she never wanted to kill them. Even if they were bad people, she really couldn't bring herself to do it. However, Huasiqian was still pushing her. Mian, you can't bring yourself to do it? Huasiqian continued to provoke her. Huamin was extremely conflicted. She closed her eyes and wanted to stab him. At worst, she would be a murderer. However, she didn't feel guilty killing someone like this. Although she thought so, she still couldn't bring herself to do it. Mian, it's not good for you to be so soft-hearted. Here, I'll teach you what to do. After he finished speaking, Huasiqian gripped Huamin's hand tightly and used the knife to stab himself in the neck. Swoosh, blood splattered everywhere. Huamin felt like his heart was about to stop beating at that moment. She would never have thought that Huasiqian would do something so extreme. Looking at the blood on his neck slowly flowing down to his hand and the hilt of his saber, she suddenly felt nauseous and turned her head to retch. Yes, as a pregnant woman, she could no longer withstand such shock and excitement, let alone such a bloody scene. Surgeries were different from surgeries. The purpose of surgeries was to save lives, but the actions in front of him were to kill. Killing people was not as simple as killing chickens. After all, it was a living life. Huamin admitted that regardless of whether the other party was Hua Xiqian or someone else, she couldn't kill him with a clear conscience. She wasn't Liu Yin and hadn't been trained since she was young, so she was really terrified in the face of such a scene. Seeing Hua Min retching, Hua Xiqian became even calmer. He pulled out a white gauze and unhurriedly wrapped the wound on his neck. He didn't use much strength just now, so the wound wasn't deep. However, such an exciting scene was indeed to scare Hua Min. Hua Xiqian admitted that he did it on purpose. He just wanted to let Hua Min know his weakness. She couldn't do anything at all and couldn't kill him. Besides, with Hua Min's physique, he might not even be a match for Hua Xiqian with a gun, let alone a knife. Hua Xiqian was someone who could fight Su Yu's personal bodyguard, and with his bare hands. Since you can't kill me, you should give up the idea. Don't play with knives casually in the future, okay? It's too dangerous. Hua Xiqian walked closer to Hua Min and coaxed her like a child. Chapter 2950. Hua Min couldn't speak anymore. She squatted on the ground, trying to vomit but unable to do so. She looked like she was in great pain. Just then, Hua Xiqian's phone rang. Hello? Boss, they're here. Okay. Do you want us to set up an ambush? No, of course not. I want to put on a good show. Hua Xiqian smiled proudly. Then we'll stay on standby. Okay, just follow the original plan. After Hua Xiqian hung up, he looked at Hua Min meaningfully. Mian, people are here to watch the wedding. Are you happy? Hua Min slowly turned around, not knowing what Hua Xiqian meant. There will be a lot of people watching our grand wedding on the edge of cliff. You have to do your best later. Hua Min didn't say anything. She would never know what kind of perverted move Hua Xiqian would make next. Hua Mian was scared out of her wits just now. If she wasn't pregnant, Hua Min really wanted to fight him to the death. It wasn't Hua Min's character to be led by the nose like this. Are you done? If you're done, let's move on to the next item. Hua Xiqian stood behind Hua Min, holding something in his hand. Before Hua Min could react, Hua Xiqian pulled her up. Then something knocked on her hands. When she saw it clearly, she realized it was a pair of miniature handcuffs. They were very small, but very strong. Hua Min's hands were tightly locked together, and she couldn't move at all. She struggled with all her might, but she found that the handcuffs were getting closer and closer, and her wrists were hurting. Don't waste time, be obedient. Then, Hua Xiqian saw the coat slip off and drape over Hua Min's body. Then she took out a bouquet of flowers from the car and placed it in her hand. After that, he covered the handcuffs on Hua Min's hands with fresh flowers. He wanted Hua Min to look like he was holding a bouquet of flowers with him. What kind of music do you like? How about the wedding march? I'm going to marry you today, okay? Hua Xiqian tilted his head and asked, I'd rather die than marry you. Hey, don't say such ominous things on such a good day. I don't like it. Hua Xiqian, don't you think you're being very childish? Hua Min felt that what he was doing was completely meaningless. No, I think it's very meaningful. Didn't I plan for so many years for this day? Ha! Cheer up, baby. This is our wedding. Seeing that Hua Min didn't say anything, Hua Xiqian asked again, since you don't like these two songs, then let's use Wedding of a Dream, even though it sounds sad. Then, he used his phone to control the Bluetooth speakers. Richard Clayderman's Wedding of a Dream played from the two mini stereos by the archway. The sad melody, accompanied by darkness, was like dancing on a cliff. Hua Min suddenly felt so wrong that she wanted to cry. She and Qin Shu hadn't even had a wedding before. It was her first time wearing a wedding dress, but she had to rehearse a cliff wedding with Hua Xiqian here. It was the biggest irony. Just then, the roaring sound of cars slowly approached. Look, they're here. Hua Xiqian pointed in the direction of the mountain road. 5 SUVs rushed up, and behind them was a mighty police car. After the car stopped, Qin Chu couldn't wait to jump out. When he saw Hua Min standing at the edge of the cliff, he suddenly felt a lot more at ease. Honey, Hua Min was instantly surprised, and excited. Then, tears fell unknowingly. Yes, her husband was here to save her. Chapter 2951. Qin Shu didn't say anything, but his gaze was fixed on Huamin. He understood all of her grievances, all of her fear and hesitation. He could see it with a single glance. At this moment, Qin Shu only felt a deep sense of self-blame. If he hadn't been careless and taken precautions, she wouldn't have been switched at home. You guys came at the right time. My wedding with Sister Mian is lacking an audience. Huasiqian smiled. Fuck, you're a fucking pervert. You kidnapped someone else's wife to marry you? Tang Chuan couldn't help but curse. Then, Wei Liao, Gao Ran, and the others got out of the car as well. Su Yu was the last to get out of the car. He first glanced at Huamin. When he saw the tears on her face, he felt as if someone had stabbed his heart. Yes, the fearless Su Yu was most afraid of Huamin's tears. Huamin was a very strong person. When she wanted to cry, she rarely pretended to be weak to gain sympathy. Therefore, if she cried, she must be very sad. That was why Su Yu's heart ached even more. Huasiqian, don't fart. Let her go, or I'll blow you up into ashes. Su Yu was impatient. He spoke bluntly. Everyone's here today, Mian. All your friends are here. Then, the wedding can begin. After speaking, Huasiqian reached out and put his arm around Huamin's shoulder as they walked towards the arched door. The two of them had their backs to them. Gao Ran immediately took out his gun and aimed at Huasiqian. Don't shoot. Qin Shu said. Why? Look at the clothes behind Mian. Qin Shu reminded him. At this moment, everyone saw that on the back of Huamin's black clothes, there was a small blinking thing. His intuition told him that it wasn't anything good either. As expected, Huasiqian stopped in his tracks and turned around with a smile. If you want to shoot me, go ahead. But if I die, the bomb on Mian's body will detonate within 30 seconds of my death. Even the best experts in the world can't defuse it in such a short time. So if you want to do this, I don't mind. No matter if it's in heaven or on earth, I'm happy as long as I can be with Mian. Huasiqian, fuck your mother. You despicable, shameless bastard. You're the scummiest person I've ever met. You piece of shit. Tang Chuan was so angry that he kept walking in circles. He wanted to curse Huasiqian with all the vicious words he could think of. As expected, Qin Shu had guessed correctly. He knew that Huasiqian would not reveal any flaws so easily. Therefore, if he dared to turn around so easily and turn his back to them, he should know that they wouldn't dare to shoot. I'm going to tear this scumbag apart with my bare hands. So you couldn't stay calm anymore. He threw his gun on the ground and was about to rush up and drag Huamin back. However, before he could take a few steps, Qin Shu pulled him back. Don't go, Qin Shu said. Fuck, what time is it? She's your wife. Qin Shu, she's your wife. Don't you feel bad for her? So you yelled at Qin Shu. Qin Shu looked at Su Yu with a complicated expression. Then, he squatted down, picked up a small rock, and threw it in the direction of Huasiqian and Huamin. The moment the rock hit the ground, there was a loud explosion. He planted a landmine? After Gao Ran said this, everyone's expression changed drastically. If Qin Shu hadn't stopped him, so you would have been smashed into pieces. Yes, Huasiqian used a landmine to trap himself and Huamin at the edge of the cliff. No one could get close, otherwise they would be blown into pieces. This is big trouble. Wei Liao, who was always smart and quick-witted, frowned slightly. Chapter 2952. Shu, what do we do now? Gao Ran looked at Qin Shu and asked in a low voice. Find a chance to save her, Qin Shu said calmly. How? We can't get close. Gao Ran frowned slightly. How about we throw rocks at them and detonate the bombs? There must be a limit to the number of bombs. Tang Chuan suggested cleverly. We can't do that. If the explosion is too loud. Huamin is pregnant. Su Yu immediately rejected. Oh, right. I forgot that my sister-in-law is pregnant. Tang Chuan stuck out his tongue. The men, including the police officers behind them, couldn't get close to Huasiqian and Huamin. Huasiqian faced everyone alone. He had even sent away all of his subordinates. If he wasn't confident, why would he do that? Just then, Huasiqian pulled Huamin and turned around. Thank you all for coming to my wedding with Wamin today. He said, fuck. Suyu was so angry that his face turned green. Seeing Wamin being wronged and unable to get close to him, that feeling was worse than death. Huasiqian, what do you have to do to let Mian go? Qinshu looked at him calmly. I think I should ask you what you have to do to let Mian go, right? Qinshu, you've had her for too long. You can't even protect your own wife. What right do you have to have her? Qinshu didn't say anything. Huasiqian continued. Ian is running out of patience. He'll soon find out about Mian's background. If he finds out, you know the consequences. He's a demon that even Liu Yin can't deal with. Huasiqian wasn't being an alarmist. Everyone knew what kind of person Ian was. At least, Gao Ran had seen it before. Wherever that pervert went, rivers of blood would flow. She's my wife. I will protect her, Qin Shu said. Huasiqian seemed to have made up his mind. Save your sweet words. You're a big liar. You know better than I do how much Huamian has suffered in your hands. Anyways, I won't trust you this time. After the wedding, I'll take her away. Don't even think about it. There are so many of us here. Where can you go? Don't even think about taking Huamin away. Suyu refuted Huasiqian, but he just smiled and didn't say anything. Mian, don't you want to say something to everyone at this beautiful moment? Huasiqian lowered his head and looked at Huamin. When he smiled, even his eyes were gentle. You won't succeed. My husband will save me. After Huamin finished speaking, she looked at Qin Shu with determination. Yes, she believed. She believed that no matter what, Qin Shu was the one who could save her. Just like before, Qin Shu would clean up all the messes she made. Qin Shu was the one who cleaned up all the mess she made. She just needed to continue being the willful Dr. Hua. Hearing Huamin's words, Qin Shu felt even worse. In the face of his wife's unconditional trust, he felt guilty. Mian, Qin Shu looked at Huamin as if he had 1,000 things to say. But as soon as he opened his mouth, tears welled up in his eyes. Huamin's eyes were also red. She never thought that she could be so far away from Qin Shu. They were only 12 meters apart, but it felt like the end of the world. You're tuning in to the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.